Anyways, no, I just looked at how quick the stream went. Usually I gotta wait like 45 seconds or something. They must have gave us like access to the premium servers. Either way, enough of me rambling. Caffeine will do that to you. We have the long-awaited guest from Mumbai, India, the DemonStealer.
Thank you guys for having me.
Because this is how I know you.
If I do the talking about this man, we'll be here for another hour. This man has a long list of friends in the community alone. Never mind his YouTube cooking shows he does and videos. And Sahil, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a death metal musician who loves to cook, and I've been making music for about 22 years now, and I've been running my YouTube channel for about a decade, and yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. If there's something to do with heavy metal in India, I'm generally involved in some way or the other.
Okay, and then we have John from Duskwalker.
What's up?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That is a luxurious beard, I must admit. I'm not like.
Thank you.
No problem. Like mine just curls up on me whenever I try to grow it out. It just tucks back under. But like I noticed between you and this man over here, it's like the beard game is serious.
This is just what happens when laziness works in your favor.
Nice.
I have a question. We're gonna go way back in things. What was the first song or band that made you say, I want to play music, I want to play metal music?
Are you asking me or are you asking John?
I'm asking you, sir. I know it's late for you, so I would like to, so you can leave when you need to.
Oh no, I've got time. Don't worry about it. It's still fairly early. It's only 9 p.m. But yeah. I mean, it was actually Metallica, Iron Maiden. These were the bands that kind of got me into metal, and I think it was the music as a whole that really inspired me to sort of form a band and write down music. I think that's something very particular to metal music as a genre. It is one where almost everyone who listens to the genre wants to play or plays one, or the band or wants to form one. It's just that kind of music that really inspires and drives people to create it.
And you just released a new EP recently?
Yeah, so last year in December, I put out an EP called And This Too Shall Pass. It was a solo EP under my alias DemonStealer, and I pretty much did everything on that EP except mixing and mastering, but I did all the drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and yeah, lyric writing.
I just watched one of those videos. It was intense. At first, I thought it was like 4 different people. Then I realized you wardrobed up and you like switched your hairstyles and things. I was just like, that had me going for like a good 2 minutes. I'm like, wow, that band is serious. Yeah. And then I watched into it. I'm just like, damn, like, did you set up the camera angles and everything too? Was that like a one-man show the whole way?
Yeah. So I shot everything myself, and I just sent it to somebody else to edit. Yeah, the shooting was all done by me.
Okay.
And you kind of impressed him too with your crappy drumming videos.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like he's watching it going, this is crappy. And I'm like, yeah, like this is what he considers crappy, but I wouldn't kick him out of the band for it.
Right?
Yeah, I was slack-jawed and all. I'm just like, I said, every joint from your hip down must be involved in your drumming, like from your bass drumming. I mean, because like is it a double pedal?
Yeah, it's a double pedal, and I'm doing like so actually it doesn't take those many muscles, because it's a technique that allows you to kind of like normally if you wanted to play fast, you would just go like, and you'd have to actually use a lot of the vibrations as well as your muscles to kind of get each note. But just like you can on the hands, there's a sort of trick that a lot of drummers use now, which is it's like this motion with your feet. So you play 1 2 1 2. So it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, and but you're doing just two motions. So
Okay.
it looks like you're playing slower, but it's actually faster.
Wow. Yeah. Even the
John has a question. I know.
Well,
like me, you're a fan.
you actually stole my question then. Which I guess I'll kind of piggyback on your question, which is like, is there a specific like album that you heard that like made something click, that you're like, oh yeah, this is it. This changed everything.
I if there was also, I can't recall it, because it's like the thing that I recall the most is obviously the first metal song that I ever heard, which was Iron Maiden's Running Free. And just that, I come from a like in India, people listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and Western music is kind of, people, if you're listening to Western music in India, you're kind of the lucky few, because now obviously things have changed, but uh, back then, people who were only sort of reasonably well off financially would listen to Western music or have access to that kind of stuff. So I was from a lot of pop and soul music that my parents used to listen to. And also, of course, I got the usual dose of Bollywood music like anyone growing up in Mumbai city would have. But I remember just hearing that riff, the opening riff of Running Free, that the sound of that, the way the drums sounded, the guitar sounded, it was just insane. Like that moment was surprisingly not my like defining moment in metal, but that moment is what I remember the most. And then after that, I think it was the combination of all the bands I was listening to, which was Maiden, Metallica, Pantera, a lot of Pantera, Fear Factory, Marilyn Manson, Sepultura, like all these bands together, I think inspired me. If I have to pin it down, I'd say maybe Devin Townsend, especially in those first two Strapping Young Lad albums, I think really was somebody that I aspired to be like, because he did everything. Like he was the brain behind the project, and
He's a maniac.
yeah, and he is a maniac. I mean, that's the best way to put it. And he produced all his own albums. So him and Golder from Old Man's Child, those two I think were if I have to pin it down, I say maybe those two were the guys that really kind of inspired me to a very large extent as individual musicians.
That explains a lot, actually.
Right.
Not going back.
I know. As soon as you said Devin Townsend, it's like, oh, that makes a lot of
That
sense.
makes a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff makes a lot of sense on how you write now. It just clicked.
I like
it. Sounds familiar to me, and it's just great riffs, great everything. But it's now I have that connection where I know where it's coming from. I would like to have that connection.
The foundation has been settled. Building.
Great position. Now, damn.
Yeah.
There's another one that should be a lot bigger than what he is.
Yeah.
Just like this man here.
Yeah.
Like
He
plays it down on how he is as a musician, but he's a lot of people look up to him. He's a really great musician.
As a musician, he's very active. I remember I've gone through that promo for the last 3-4 months, 2-3 months at least, and I'm still trying to catch up to how many albums you've actually released over the course. And that wasn't all of them, was it?
No, that was just his DemonStealer.
Yeah.
Demonic Resurrection.
Okay.
Workshop.
Okay.
And I believe the Reptilian Warrior was in there as well, which is
Reptilian Death.
Reptilian Death.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
And then there's a couple of other side project albums that you have too. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Yeah. That's in depth. So how long do you put towards each composition or release, so to speak? And is there a system you have to structuring your is there a system you have to structuring your albums opposed to your EPs?
Not really. I can't see one thing, and I think that shows in the amount of projects I have, in the way I write music, and the way I put it out as well, and the kind of mishmash of genres as well in each release of mine. So it really varies. Like with Demonic Resurrection, um, in the start it was just me kind of writing everything, so it worked. But then I didn't have a live band, so I had a whole new lineup. Happened on the condition that I would not write everything, and we would be a band, so to speak. So the DR albums take a lot of time. It was almost like 4 years between each album, if not 5 years. And then more towards the end, like Dash Avatar, the last Demonic Resurrection album, which was pretty much just me writing everything, was done in a month's time. I just locked myself in the studio, and in 30 days I wrote the album, and we took another few months to record it. Similarly with my solo project, like the first solo album I recorded, wrote, and released it in 19 days. I just woke up one morning, I was like, you know what, I'm doing my solo album. I'm going to put it out on my birthday, and it was like on the 1st of June, and my birthday is on the 19th. So I was like, I'm doing it, and I did it. And
Nice.
it,
Nice.
yeah, and in the other flip side of it, like the second solo album with George Colliers on drums, I started writing that in 2008 after the first album came out, but I only was able to release it in 2016. So that was like 7 or 8 years in the making. So
Oh,
I know
shit.
it's kind of, it just goes with the flow kind of a thing.
Yeah, and there's no specific time for any specific thing. It just happens as it needs to, kind of. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Question. A little bit of background of
Workshop. Okay, so Workshop is my 2-album comedy rock band which started in around 2007, I want to say, and in about 2012 or 13 we disbanded after our second album. So I used to work for a company that imported musical instruments to India, and I kind of got them interested in distributing ESP guitars back in 2006, 2007. And I was kind of the brand manager for ESP then in India. And one of the things I did to launch the brand and kick things off was a guitar clinic. So because obviously I work with this company, and I was thinking, if I'm doing a clinic, I don't want to make it too extreme. The material that I do at the clinic, because I was like, we want people from all musical backgrounds to come and understand how good the instruments are and stuff. So I started writing whatever I could pass off as softer material,
I like how he said that.
yeah, softer material. And I decided to contact two musicians that I knew. One of them is Riju, who is the bass player of Primitive and Albatross, two bands from Bombay. But back then he was a classic rock bass player. He had not even he wasn't even into metal. He was busy playing AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and stuff. And I was producing his band's EP or something. So I said, can you just back me on this clinic? And he said yes. And I asked another drummer, Hamza, who I don't recall exactly how I met him and how we got talking, but I asked him if he'd also, play drums, because he was into Tool and Porcupine Tree. So I was like, okay, get some rock kind of musicians to back me up. And we did the clinic together, the 3 or 4 tracks that I wrote. And Hamza was really, really excited at this entire thing. So I think he chased me for a year, saying, hey man, let's just do a project together. Let's take these songs, do something with them. And I think randomly there was a college gig where I said, okay, let's go and play this. Or I don't know, I don't even remember half these stories now, but we went to this college gig and we played all these songs, and I made up impromptu lyrics on the spot. And we picked funny song names for these tracks. And I was cracking jokes in between the set. And it was almost like stand-up comedy meets music. And after that, I guess he was like, you know what, dude, let's let's do this and let's do it seriously. So like, okay, if we're going to do it, let's get a costume, let's get a stage act, let's go the whole hog. And since we were formed on a workshop, we're like, you know what, let's workshop, let's get some hard hats, some suits, and rock and roll. That's kind of how that thing came about.
Kind of like the Frank Zappa band of India. I have both albums. Like, it's great.
Oh man,
You'll love it, John.
that's great.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to check that out.
John's a fan like I am too. I heard about the other stuff that you've done. And I wanted a bit of backstory on Workshop. Because listening to it, I'm like, I know this is comedy, but I need to hear the story because it's probably just as good as the albums.
Admittedly, I'm new to the circle, so I'm just this circle. So I'm just trying to learn what I can about what you're doing and probably pick up some information on how to, approach what I do from a different angle. Yeah, because I thought I tell people I was a drummer. Then I saw you. I can use sticks. You know what I mean? I throw sticks. That's what I do. But no, it's really nice to see like the transcendence of what you've done, because from what I've heard, you were like the forefather of metal, death metal. Yes. One of the originators.
I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
and there was one other. I can't remember the name right now.
Cryptos, Sky Harbor.
Sky Harbor. Okay. So yeah. So you were one of three. That's
well, actually, the thing is, metal goes back quite a bit in India.
Really?
Yeah, like, so the thing is, again, I guess probably being colonized by the British definitely left a big Western influence on the country. There's been live music and Western music since back in the day. And I there's an amazing documentary that Red Bull did. It's called Standing By. I think you can watch it on YouTube. It actually goes back all the way to the 60s, where there would be like jazz bands in India, and concerts would happen, and all this evolved. And I think we had our first metal band as early as the 80s, actually, the mid or late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance. I didn't realize, like, again, and it's the Western culture again, like projecting a particular imagery. You know what I mean? But no, it's a bit of a culture shock to. That's a shameless plug. But it's a bit of a culture shock to realize. I'm like, jazz in India. That was the first, because I love the quarter tones, like the quarter tones in the Eastern culture. So you know what I mean, to abandon that in the Western music kind of doesn't make sense to me. But you can get so much more inflections and diversity in the music that you play with those quarter tone differences. So I'm just like, to hear that influence in a jazz state now.
Yeah, and there are a lot of musicians doing that. They take Indian classical now and they fuse it with jazz and rock and even metal. And things are happening. The thing is, I think, there's always stereotypical of what India is or what Indian culture is and things like that. So it's only what people know, right? Like, you can't blame people for not deep diving into every country. I mean, there's the world is huge, Yeah,
it is.
And
it is.
I mean, I just covered metal in Syria, Yeah, 2 years back, I was in London for a metal conference, and there was a filmmaker who did a documentary about metal in Syria, and there was another Syrian musician who had been able to sort of escape to. I think he moved to Beirut, if I'm not mistaken, and he's trying to make music over there. So I knew nothing of the place, so but I only know what you see on TV and the stereotypes of what is made available to us. But it was so refreshing to hear their perspective, and also like you just suddenly have this like, whoa, I can't even imagine this. Because imagine this guy filmed in Syria, this whole documentary of his at risk to his own safety. Like, and these guys are when I saw their concerts, I was like, this looks just like Bombay. All the kids there look just like we did, when we were at gigs. And the only difference is, unfortunately, they have to listen to grenades and bombs during the day, and we don't. But they're listening to metal bands cover Sepultura and Iron Maiden and write their own stuff, and it's just amazing, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, it's only just the surface. It's like Jerusalem has a couple of good metal bands too. There's
Yeah.
Africa, Berkeley has a couple of really.
That I gotta see. Like, they have to have the Shikis. Forgive me. Like, there's got to be one band rocking out into some metal in the Shikis. I can say that. I can see it.
Oh yeah, there is.
I can see it. Just wow, the diversity that music can create and the way it can bring people together. It's just amazing that it's so underfunded over here. Like, in general. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Musicians don't make music to make money. We make music to lose it.
Yeah.
The expensive.
Like you made a whole YouTube video on how you're not even gonna break even on a 4-song EP that you did pretty much 90% yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, that's just bonkers. Meanwhile, we're streaming to YouTube right now. We getting our hours up, though. We getting our hours up.
It's just insane on how much musicians take the abuse and people just want to keep taking it.
Oh, you want to do this? Just okay. How much you gonna pay me? Oh, we were just gonna give you some exposure. Exposure? What am I, a film? Do I look like? Excuse me. All right.
Not really.
No, I'm just kind of soaking it up.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite bands that from India or actually just overseas in general where you are?
So I mean, the thing. Oh, right now I was listening to, I think, Swedish band called. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I check what I'm listening to. But I'm on a complete like tech debt trip right now. So like Hideous Divinity, the new Abiotic, basically anything from the Artisan era record label is on the list right now. I absolutely love stuff they put out. But yes, this is the band I've been Stortregen, Stortregen. They're like this black death melodic band. And I also just discovered the Monolith Death Cult for the first time ever, and also the new Crown album I've been listening to. So yeah, just a mix of stuff, but if it's extreme metal, I'm generally listening to it.
Okay. All right.
Well, the man that's sitting over there, the bigger bushy beard, check out his thing. It's pretty good there.
This guy's
He's
rocking
not
the
too
alliteration.
shabby either.
He's rocking the alliteration today.
We're all right. We're all right.
Yeah, look up some Duskwalker. I think you might like him.
Duskwalker.
Old school thrash, good old death metal, good growls.
Yeah, we got
Yes.
some of those.
Speaking
I will
of
check.
growls, yeah. Yeah, I have to go there because, like, I'm a loud dude. I try to contain myself for the benefit of those in my present company, but some of those growls and that vocal, do you ever hurt yourself getting to that point? Have you ever blown a vocal cord or anything like that? Because that sounds like it's coming from a special place deep beyond your ankle.
Oh yeah, luckily I've had no vocal injuries in my life. It's probably because I've had the fortune of being an active touring musician. So being in India, you don't play too many 12 shows in a year if you're lucky. If you're able to, I mean, whatever tours I've been able to book, I've ever had to go is 15 days on the road singing, which I just not my voice in terms of, like, a touring musician, like, say, maybe a Lamb of God or a Behemoth who are touring like 3 years, like, that's some serious work your voice, like singing every night, 3 months, get a month off and then you're on the road again. That is what blows up people's voices, I think, more than anything. Just the wear and tear, anyone who does. I don't think it's restricted to extreme metal vocals. I mean, I think enough pop singers have their voices over the as have any kind of musician that's physically taxing their body every day, even strength athletes. And that's generally how I like to explain extreme metal in general to people, whether it's singing or the guitar playing or the drum, because even the drumming is quite intense. So you kind of look at it as you would an extreme sport. How does a marathon runner run, for 45 kilometers, and just strongmen, bodybuilders, power lifters. It's practice. It's you wake up one day, you start, you get the technique right, you learn to use the right muscles so that you're not straining your voice. It's just doing that over and over again. So
Okay.
you like, even with the extreme drumming, it sounds so fast and brutal, but obviously there are some drummers who just use their entire body, but there'll be some who will figure out the technique. So they're just, okay, I'm using only my wrist, so I'm working these muscles, it's not this, and I'm able to play it for longer durations. So it's you train it like you would any extreme sport, basically. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
That I like that philosophy, because I usually relate my analogies to food, because everybody eats, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you like that transition there, don't you? But I hear that you also have, is it Headbangers Kitchen?
Yeah.
Yes. Where did that start? What brought that to fruition?
All right, we gotta go back in my childhood. I was a fat kid. I still am a fat kid. I think some here fat. But I love to eat, I guess, and I was a picky eater. So I somehow at the age of 11 or 12 started cooking. Enjoyed it, and I even wanted to be a chef. That was my life's goal. Till I discovered death metal, and it was like all out the window. But the thing with cooking is it's something that you just never give up, because no matter what you do in life. So I was constantly cooking, and when we had bands come over and stay at my house, I would cook them breakfast because they would be playing a show here, and I got a reputation as being a reasonably decent chef, and I think I just continued with this fondness for food, and I think it was around 2007, 8 or 9. Around that time, I started kind of posting blogs because I got a camera phone, and then YouTube started to become big in India. So I was like, hey, why don't I make a video recipe instead of typing it out on Facebook? And I asked the guy who made my band's music video, would you film this for me? He's like, I'll do it, but why don't we just do something exciting with it instead of just a recipe? So I sat down and brainstormed, and Headbangers Kitchen, the heavy metal, where I would interview a metal band, cook them a meal inspired by either their band name or have them taste the food at the end of the interview. First sort of iteration of Headbangers Kitchen was born.
And then he went on to do a whole keto series when you were keto for a little while. And
Yeah.
Ramen now that you're posting non-keto videos. The videos are great to watch. They're awesome. And you bring your wife into them sometimes, and your father are in them.
Yeah.
Oh, you get your wife on camera?
It's a task. It's a task, but
Okay.
We all have the same problem.
Yeah. I got to shout out the wife of Jer. She does get an article. I mentioned her specifically in this month's Culture Shock magazine, which is talking about women in industry. They influence quite a bit over here, I realize.
He decided to combine his keto channel with non-keto. Yeah, apparently some people got angry or something it triggered them. It was kind of funny. It was just funny to read the post and the video. The video he put
Yeah.
up for it was the best. You may want to unfollow me after this video.
Like, that's what I'm. How are they gonna watch you and complain about what you're doing to then watch you for the purpose of complaining about what you're doing? Find something to do with your time. I mean, like,
It's fun. Some of the stuff this man has gone through with what people say to him about doing his own thing is hilarious.
oh man.
And some days I we'll call it first world problems. Some of these people are just complaining for complaining.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Give me an example of one of your most, like, I'll call it harebrained complaint that you've seen on your posts.
Well, the thing that is the thing that really makes me pull out my hair the most is all these angry Christians on my channel. Who are like, oh, you're symbol of the devil, you're calling Satan, I can't watch your keto channel, I can't watch your recipes because you're in cahoots with the devil. Or...
Wow.
Oh, ask him about the $100 turkey.
$100 turkey. I think I got 2 turkeys sitting in my freezer. I'm trying to figure out what I might make a jerk turkey actually. But no, you let me hear about this. $100 turkey? Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
so well, turkey is not really. I mean, it's not of the Indian cuisine, and the Christian community here isn't big enough to warrant a large turkey selling market. So turkey is just not a meat you get here easily, and it's also very simple because it's obviously not a common household eaten thing. So the local turkeys I previously purchased were like really bad in quality. The thing, right? We don't. The animal farming is not quite the way it is in the West. So, for example, all your goats are kind of like this free range goats, so they're not like fattened with like super tender meat. Similarly, even the water buffalo, we don't get cow in all states because it's banned, but they're all working animals that are not kind of like, the meat is not tender, it's not butchered in the way it is in the West. So long story short, the meat is crap. So I was like, I need to get an imported turkey. And there are some guys who import turkey to India, but obviously with the taxes, the shipping, the storage, the profit margins, a simple $10 butterball turkey, the selling price is about $100 in India.
Yeah.
You asked.
Jeez.
Jeez,
So that's about 130 yards.
they put it to you. Oh my.
Yes.
Wow.
It's insane. But he did a whole video on it, and people were
2 videos.
2 videos.
They
Like,
were attacking him.
I've literally seen turkeys run across the road, bro. Like,
Right?
Like, it was just funny to read on how somebody's telling somebody else how to spend their money and do their content.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh, now it's coming back to me. Oh, this was in the food we were talking about. Oh yes. Yes.
It was insane. Like, this is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And these people are attacking for buying a turkey that he wants to, do a bunch. He did a bunch of videos for them.
yeah.
Like, it wasn't just one meal and done, and
You
I'm
can't
not
believe.
gonna eat it. Like he said, we're gonna eat this for a little while. Like, this is gonna be not just one meal and done. And they were attacking him.
Wow.
Like, it was insane. And I'm sorry, all I could do was read them and laugh at him. Like, really? Like, seriously?
People are funny.
It's just, some of the comments he gets on his videos and that are, like, he can't please everybody, but I swear there's people that just wait for him to upload something so they can try and tear it down. It's hilarious. Like,
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the internet thrives on this drama anyway. I guess
Ugh. Yeah. But there's specific people on the internet that just spark it, and in hopes of it running through, it just spreads like the symbiote kind of thing. It's like it just starts with that one numbskull, and all they need is a friend who just believes everything they say, and then it just goes through that. It's like, but I don't know. I don't see it as much in the metal
I'll show you the
community
video later.
as I do in the
Like,
hip hop. But yeah, I got to see that. I got to see that.
Great cookbook, by the way.
Oh,
And
Thank
also
you.
as an
author and a gentleman.
musician, a internet content provider,
Yeah. Like,
all over. Like this man is like, I look at my phone in the morning and he's one of the first people that pop up on my news feed.
Right?
Always,
Always.
always something. Like it's great to watch. Like you know, for a guy that says he's not very sociable, has social.
Yeah, I'm social on the internet.
yeah.
This man has social media down pretty damn good.
That's okay. All right.
Actually, I think one of the first things I saw this morning when I woke up was your post about people smoking.
Ah, yes, that was yes.
And I
that was
feel
it.
exactly the same way.
I'm an ex-smoker.
Yeah.
quit about 6
I-
years ago.
disgusting.
So I was like 4 or 5
I
around
can
there.
understand where he's coming from because you know I quit. I'm like, yeah, now I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I can tell now.
Gross.
Like it doesn't like I don't know. I've built up a tolerance to it. Like I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with it, but
but
like-
walk the other way.
there's I do notice a difference in it now that I don't as much. Well, I don't smoke cigarettes yet. So yeah, I don't know.
That was the first post I woke up.
Yeah, first thing I saw this morning.
See,
And when you
there
talked
go.
about, because they did the same thing here, when they banned it in bars, as a musician, that was the
Yeah.
best.
Oh, yeah, actually,
It was
I
great.
enjoy it.
Oh yeah, you don't taste it in the donuts anymore at certain places. Like that was the worst.
Yeah, and you can actually go home without your hair or cigarette because it's really hard to get a hair that's
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have more hair than this, so yeah, I know where you're coming from.
But no, usually every day I'm looking. I'm like, okay, do we have a new T-shirt yet? No, okay, that's coming soon. Like it's fun to watch the heel post because he's always every day. There's no less than like 3 or 4 posts a day. And even when he went on holidays, he's like, I'm going on vacation. I'm putting away the phone, and then it was like what 3 days later.
I didn't put off the phone. I did not.
Man.
Someday I'll do it. Someday I will take a real detox from social media.
We all say that, and it lasts maybe an hour.
I mean, like,
I'm sure I'll someday find the.
so what is your go-to social media outlet?
It's the same as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't think I can handle more than 4.
Okay. All right. So I'm in the right realm because I don't see like if you really want to find me, you're gonna find me where I'm at, right? So like can't spend my no, that makes so much sense. All right. So
So, what's the plans musically on the horizon? I know you haven't hinted towards anything. Do you have anything that you're thinking about? You want to do? Somebody reach out to you? I know you're looking to do another track with musicians again because I saw that post the other day.
Yes. Well, like you said, I haven't really announced anything, but I can confirm that the Solus X Inferis first album, debut album, is going to be out in the coming months. I think we should be gearing up for a June release. So that album is going to drop. It's going to have 7 songs. It's got Lord Marco on drums. And I'm quite excited to release that. And I also started singing for this other project called Targe, Targe. And we just put out a new song on the 14th called Godless and Divine. So that's happening. And I can give you some exclusive news that I am working on another solo release. But that's all I'll say right now.
Nice.
I want to hit the like I almost hit the sampler like the alarm sampler like so.
That's really nice.
I know. That's why I didn't because he has earbuds in. That would have been so terrible. Oh,
Like, I look forward to one of these videos.
Yeah.
There's always something different.
yeah.
Like,
Is there any chance there's going to be another Demonic Resurrection album?
Um, I mean, I don't think I could say no, but I definitely can't say when it will happen because right now I haven't seen the band guys in a year at least. Like I haven't even met them socially for a year. Whatever's left of the band at least, and our guitarist Vignesh is also moving to America, so I don't know how things are going to work out. So I guess all I can do is wait and see how things progress in the upcoming months. I'm 100% sure 2021 is pretty much going to be a blank slate. Nothing's going to happen. Maybe in 2022 we'll start working on things depending on what's happening in the world as well. I think for us it's hard to work on like playing shows and touring because it has to be worked on so much in advance. And given the state in the world right now, given the logistics required for us to whether we want to tour Europe or America, it just doesn't make sense even looking down that road and talking to people till we're like 100% certain we can go and we can do something. So I'd say it's a pretty dead scene for the next year at least.
Yeah. Well, it's just like from Demon King to Dash Avatar is like a pretty big jump. So if you did the same thing, like Dash Avatar is like so good. Like if you went another step further than that, like man, would that be an album?
The other week, like I'll binge listen to artists I like, and I actually binge listen to all the their albums. It's just amazing at how they go, like the flow of them. Like you could just put them on all the DR stuff, and then go into the DemonStealer stuff, and then finish with like the workshop stuff. It's just a great, it's the way it goes. It's
Thank you.
album. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody I listen to, I can at least pick something that I don't like, and I just have not found anything I don't like. Like even the workshop stuff, I freaking howled my ass off at it, and the music's great.
All I
Thank
know
you.
The music is awesome on it, but the lyrics just don't. It's a good laugh.
it's an adrenaline rush every time I play the commercial. Every time. I'll be sitting here placid, you know what I mean, looking like I'm about to fall asleep or something. Hit that commercial and just like, dish. I'm awake and I'm just like, I'll slowly start to rock out. And it's like, it's a good thing it's only like 30 seconds because if it was any longer, I'd probably be thrashing my room or something.
Today was birthday. You actually put a connection to you and the vocals. We had the video, a couple of videos up on the TV. Because I was showing him a couple of things, and he's like, "That comes out of him? What?"
Yeah. And I mean, no disrespect, but like, it's almost like I've been conditioned by certain aspects to see things in a way that I know, because of my own nature, is not entirely true.
Wait, we turn you on to some ginger.
A great root, actually. It helps with coughs and. Oh, you mean like.
That's a female-fronted metal band that she goes from cleans to like death growls in a breath. Live.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, that would be.
But yeah, I mean, people always were unable to like register that I sing like, and especially worse when I was younger, because I'd be like, "Hey, can you please increase my voice on the monitor?" Like, there's a lot.
I actually heard DR was due to a documentary. He was this little kid. Him and the bandmates were, these little guys that were talking about their metal and everything, and then I just followed the progression, followed them on, and it's just amazing. Now, looking back at, okay, this is DR then, and then you have DR now, the evolution of the music is great.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You sound to this like I sound to the, the specific genre that I've been. There's no specific genre that I've been following. I even have a couple of metal album myself, but after hearing your stuff, I think you're more along the lines of like a platinum titanium kind of combination. I'm like aluminum-ish, and that's you know, like I mean, I might get a 10 somewhere up there, but like, maybe nickel. But no, it's just like mine's a slower tempo kind of thing, like a bit of like reggae infused, a little hip hop infused, where yours is almost like a stallion race, like just get up and go like the whole time, and if you can't keep up, get out the way because you're gonna get trampled. Like so yeah.
For a man that says he's shitty at drums, the drumming work was great.
Thank you. I like to lower people's expectations so then it's more impressive.
That's the way to do it.
Right?
Psychology.
I say the same thing. I say I'm a crappy guitar player. I can't write music words. Shit.
I don't even tell people what I do. I just do it.
No, the drumming work was great on the newest one. I enjoyed it. I love the videos. I've always loved
yeah, those.
Thank you.
And then leave you wanting more. Like you were drumming for like there's one that was like 1 minute and 24 seconds, and then as it fades out, I'm just like, no, wait, he's going. There's something else to it. And then another one came on, like, yeah, fulfill. and then
I pump DR to everybody I possibly can.
Oh man, he has not.
Thank you.
Like, since he I mean, I think it was maybe. I don't think it was a day between him hearing that you're gonna be on the show to him making the promo
to this morning.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's happened so quick. Like,
well, like I said before, when we had Tommy on, I have musicians that I admire. I have musicians that I followed because I like something that they do.
Yes.
And I've followed this man for so long. It's just,
I didn't know.
Only a natural. I need to get him on here to talk to a different group than he does because, you know what I mean? Like John sitting across from me is the only person in the area I know that likes PR as much as I do.
I mean, like I didn't know about you until him, so you got an advocate out here for sure.
And John didn't know I liked DR until I went.
See, look at that.
And then we geeked out on DR at our album release show.
Look at that, bringing people together from India. Like,
my work's done.
That is great.
That's why John's here, because he's such a fan as I am, and I could not leave him out of this.
Thank you.
He's been as excited as I am.
Yeah, I was pumped for today.
He even got babysitters for the kids. And
like, yeah, I'm gonna put life on hold for a second. Something I want to accomplish has been here.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to stay open to all areas and aspects of music. So when Jay's bringing his network together with my network, and it's awesome because people can see different aspects of like each other's lives, and it's like, hey, wait, I do that too, but we're different, but we're the same.
What I need to figure out is how to get Sahil to Canada to do shows. I would love to see this man live.
Right?
Live videos I see, like I know don't do justice. Like the Bloodstock videos I watch.
Yeah.
When you put the money together for that tour, you crowdfunded it to go do that show, and then you put together the video for it. I'm like, oh, man, you gotta come over here. I think I even mentioned it to you a bunch of times. What the hell is it gonna take to get you to come here?
Yeah, it's definitely something I want to do in this lifetime. But just
follow you.
I mean, see, the only way I feel
right here.
But I think the only way it'll really happen is if we are able to support a bigger band, probably that's doing like a North America and Canada tour together. Sky Harbor did that when they were supporting Deftones, and System House 33 from India was able to do 2 US tours while supporting, I think it was Dying Fetus on one, and they were able to, I think they did Cavalera Conspiracy on the other one. I think they didn't do Canada, they did just North America. But for us, if we did come all the way to North America, we would definitely try and swing over to Canada as well, for sure, and do like a couple of dates there. Yeah, the thing is, it's super expensive. That's
But yeah, it's the. I think that's the main thing, like the travel costs, really.
I
That
would love to see them. I just want to see them live. Like
I
need
haven't
to
watched
watch
in a
the
minute.
Bloodstock video, man. Like that Bloodstock video that they paid to have done. It's
I saw the one picture where it was the band on stage taking like a
Yeah,
selfie
yeah.
or some shit with the whole group behind them. I'm just like, give me like a tenth of that crowd. Give me a tenth of that crowd. And,
I think that's the Megadeth show picture you saw in Bombay City. Megadeth.
Okay.
Megadeth
Okay.
played it. We supported them. Yeah.
You
Wow.
want to hear something else funny? This man has won a golden god. He's won some Indian medals, but he still gets food in his hometown.
Oh, that's just the musician's nature.
No, it's just like
Like,
it just makes
You know, I it's just, I think I mean, it's the crab mentality that's prevalent, in a lot of places. And I also think for the longest time in the local scene here, people always feel that if one band is doing well, it's at the expense of some other band, when it's like, no, we're just working our asses off,
yeah.
It's not like we,
holy crap.
yeah,
Sorry.
people have that thing, like they think, and because India is actually, so in India literally you can pay to get shit done, you can get things done if you know the right people, which I'm sure works world over. So I guess maybe that's the reason. I'm just trying to understand maybe why people feel that way. They feel that, like, oh, this guy knows somebody, that's why he's getting ahead, and my favorite band is left behind, not because they are not working hard, but because they don't know the right people, or they haven't had the privilege. I don't know what it is. It's just the way people are. Yeah.
It's jealousy. It really is. Well, in my perspective, anyways, I think when one accomplishes something that is exemplary, others are intimidated by it, and in their own insecurities, convince themselves they can't accomplish it because another has, instead
Yeah.
of just trying it. So,
Yeah.
it could be anything, but that's just my perspective on what I think
Yeah.
it is, because it happens too often. And you know what I mean, when people think you can't talk about your own personal life experiences because it involves them, it's like, wait a minute, I was there living too, I'm just explaining my part of this. So yeah, no, doing what you're doing is awesome. Like, it's like I said, like, and you don't know how many times over this kind of scenario is where one person knows your music and they meet another person who knows your music, and that's the connection that, that's a bond that kind of stems from that.
I'm pretty sure John was almost late setting up. Sitting out on the floor, just sitting there yapping. Pretty sure Joey came over. We gotta go. And he's like, okay. And then we started talking even more about the other stuff that he does, because he knows all the he didn't know about the workshop.
Yeah.
I started shooting names out. He's like, really? Yeah. I got all this stuff, man. You need to check this stuff out.
Yeah.
I almost made him late for his own show.
Oh man.
Oh no, I try it. Like, this is one of my favorite metal bands. Is this man?
Okay.
And I really try and push him to whoever, to the point that John's been talking about him for the last couple of weeks. And his bass player went, "Who is this band?"
Yeah.
So you got a strong following here, at least.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that.
I just got to get a hold of some of your music and include it in the catalog, because I want to get to know more.
Your little radio is getting a lot more metal.
I already have about 70 gigabytes of music that I've been collecting over the last 4 years. So that's not me personally. That's from like artists in general from around the region, actually across the globe. But I want to, like, yours would definitely be a heavy load to add, because I've like I said, I saw all the albums. I'm guessing there's no less than 5 songs per album.
He's the smallest album he has. He just put out 4 songs.
Okay, so 4. Yeah, so I mean, 24 songs, 24 albums minimum at, like, even call it off a 7-song average. Yeah.
He has a lot of music.
That's a lot of music.
Yeah.
Stuff that he just said.
Mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm.
I believe we've done a couple of songs with a couple of just random artists.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've got a lot of singles floating around too.
This man is more busy than the top 3 metal bands in the world, I'm pretty sure. Because I see more of him posting stuff than anybody else.
Yeah.
I think the only one that comes close to the amount of posting he does is Obituary.
Hey, Behemoth. Behemoth is super active.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
forgot Behemoth. Yes. Like you know what I mean? Like you're right up there. Like you hustle and grind. Like I said, I always look forward to see what your rest of the day is. Even though you try not to, there's still something there that you know. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Facebook knows what sells.
And then there's the videos when the videos pop up. I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious when your dad's with you or your wife. Those are always good videos.
Yeah.
The last one that I really laughed at was that you're gonna before you unsubscribe. That was the best one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one more like those at the rate things are going. I might have to put up one more of those soon.
Well, I know you posted a butter chicken thing, and the third comment was, "I prefer the keto version." So why are you commenting on this? Why not scroll by?
That's so. You know what? At this point, given the way social media works, I don't care. As long as you comment whatever you want. It's okay. Just leave the comment.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. This is a non-keto recipe. I prefer the keto recipe. So why are you looking?
Man.
Trust me, I'm okay with that. That comment is the least bothersome one. Those are okay. Those are just.
I've seen a few. I've seen a few that are just hurts my head, man. Like.
Oh man.
What do I say, John?
Nothing. I'm good. Just chilling. Having a good
By
time.
the way, when you ask for musicians, this is the guy that I posted that you should check out.
Yes, I will check out some of your stuff for sure.
He's a hell of a player.
I'm okay.
Is it like my terrible drumming?
Oh man.
Actually, if you YouTube him, I'm pretty sure he still has the shredder.
Yeah, I think that's still up there. Yeah.
Okay.
We have Sam does a banger TV shred off thing.
Oh, okay, yes, I will check that out. Yeah. I remember seeing a bit of that show. Yeah.
He did a video for that. So.
I
Oh,
can't even
sweet,
watch
sweet.
that show.
No, I'm not getting into that.
Oh,
I can't.
When they say that, my ears just perk. Like not getting in the way.
That's an off-camera thing. I'm not going to.
Okay. All right.
Discuss musicians. I know.
We'll have a conversation after.
All right. You see how it is? We do have now. If this was a seventh circle, that would have had to just been spilt out. But we got a couple hours until that.
Because there is some friends that
Oh.
were involved in those 2 series that I just don't wish to
Okay.
rub the wrong way. Behind closed doors, I'll talk with them, but not in a situation like this. And John's he's looking at me.
Y'all
I know
both
exactly what you mean.
It was a free-flowing conversation, and we just hit like a lift lock or some shit. Like it just wait a minute, hold on. We gotta level out. We just gotta make sure everything. We good? Everybody good?
Just one of those things that, you know,
I know, bro. I know it happens. I've been avoiding talking about a specific situation and tried to alter my week, but it's just like it keeps leaking out. so with you on that. Oh man.
we have a new music video.
Do I have a music video coming out?
Yeah, playthrough. Any playthroughs? Because I know you like to drop those just on a whim. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff coming out at some point.
Well, I know
I
I'm
wa-
sitting there and I'll be like, oh, so he hasn't dropped the video in a while. 2 days later, hey, guess what? I got bored and made a playthrough.
Yeah, I right now I'm finishing up some vocal recordings, so I've been a little busy with that, and I've just been chilling with the videos for now. But I'll be back in regular supply soon.
Like I said, I enjoy the videos.
Yeah.
Interesting to me. What time is it there? Holy cow!
It's about 10 p.m. now.
10 p.m. now? So you're 2.5 hours behind. So I thought you were an hour and a half behind.
Isn't he like 9 hours ahead of us? 10 hours
Yeah, I'm ahead. It's 10 p.m. now.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. there. It's 12 here. So he's.
So 11 hours, no? If it's
and it's 10. So yeah, you're 10 hours ahead. Like
Ah,
9.5
yes.
hours.
Yeah.
9.5
Ah,
hours.
yes. 9
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm not awake, man. I've been up.
We had to get the numbers right. We fact check each other. So like if it's not right, we ain't moving on until it is. That's just that's the way to make things sure. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's on the level. So Lee, that is awesome though. Thank you for like this by no means is a send off, but thank you for the time you've taken to, you know what I mean, spread your positive energy with us, you know what I mean? Because like I said, if you could measure the energy that this man has been radiating for the last month and a half, like you could probably power a civilization.
Like I said, this is one of the nicest people I've met through online, musician-wise, period. Like,
Yeah.
he's always, even when he's cursing, it seems to be in a nice way. Like, he's not putting you down, but he's telling you where to go.
Oh, man.
It just always seems to be the nicest human I've ever, like, had an interaction with.
Thanks
Wow,
for raising
that
the
is
bar.
that is the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Thank you.
Oh, you should hear what he says when you're off camera. It's nicer. Don't worry.
I've never actually seen him do a vindictive thing ever. And he's been, people have dragged him through some shit, and you know the comments aren't nice and whatnot. And the guy's still big smile on his face.
But you heard what he said. He prefers the comment. I know that I
fully understand that.
I know that I'm having an effect.
And this guy still has, you know, the smile on his face.
Yep, that's what you gotta be.
Still doing what he does.
He's a perfect example of how one should be when dealing with conflict or complication. It's genuinely speaking, because like I got someone made a negative, not even a negative comment, just a passing comment on one of my posts. I was just like, yeah, well, and I just, nah, I can't do that. It must have been like some inner tranquility I achieved from extra energy from this guy. But I'm just there like, nah, I can't respond the way I want to respond, because if I do, the people who do like me will think less of me because what I have to say is not polite, and that's just no good. So let me just leave it alone. Ooh.
Do we have another cookbook coming?
I keep seeing you dropping little hints here and there and possibilities.
So yeah, I mean it's not it's definitely not finalized yet. Like honestly, I'm not I never wanted to write a cookbook. I did it only because the opportunity was there, and you know there were so many fans who were like, write a cookbook. And since this first cookbook that I didn't have, like, I mean, you obviously can't fit all your recipes in one book, and it didn't have most of the Indian recipes. I definitely have convinced myself that even if I do just one more cookbook of Indian recipes, that's okay. So if I do get a good offer from a publisher, I will definitely write it, and I'll definitely make sure it's an Indian keto cookbook.
I definitely want those Indian recipes, because that's literally like my second favorite food.
Yeah, because writing a book is a lot of work, man.
Oh, I know. It's just like writing a song. It takes a lot of work.
I can only imagine, like, because like the magazine, like I'm still trying to. How do you come up with titles for your stuff? Like for your songs, your cookbook recipes, and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Is it just
Cookbook? I mean, I didn't actually get a say in the cookbook title or the cover artwork of that. They just picked it and they ran with it.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I was, but for the music, I guess a lot of times it's just stories, it's random thoughts, it's inspiration and emotion from real life events, the news. Yeah, I mean, there's no limit to what can inspire you, So just whenever I have an idea, I try and pen things down. So, I have little notes here and there with all the ideas, song titles, paragraphs of lyrics. And then sometimes it's just a jigsaw puzzle of, fitting it together.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure some of them go back until I was like 6. Just writing random sentences down that sounded cool to song ideas.
Yeah, it's just good to write it down and just keep it there somewhere. You never know when it will, come in handy.
And then I go to write, and I look at it and go, I need to get
a couple of bucks.
But no, it's been awesome, dude. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what comes next.
I mean, I want to
Yeah.
extend the invitation to come on again at whatever point you see fit.
Anytime you want.
Like, you
For
have
sure.
anything to share, like, be it by way of the cookbook or the music, anything like that. Just cooking videos, you know, even if you want to like send a video that we could play up on here, like one of those short videos or whatever, we can
Yeah.
load it up and play it. Like, you know, it's
Awesome.
like anybody that can keep him in a good mood.
Hey, I'm not that bad.
I know. No, I'm playing. But no, but seriously, like I said, he hasn't been wrong with one word he said about you. He set such a high bar, and you even you went over that too. So, like,
Wow, thank you.
I appreciate your time. I don't even know if we're gonna play any other music on this version of the Trail Effect. I might just spin through the other show, like,
as soon as we're done, but it's like, yeah, we still got John.
yeah, exactly. We got
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be a disappointment in comparison.
No.
He's just kind of geeking out a bit like I am. Like, this is great. Like, actually to have a conversation with you that's not through a text message.
Yeah.
It is, you know, is an honor within itself.
I'm
Because
just
I know how busy you are.
I'm just absorbing all this excess energy. I'm just like, oh. Like, he's got like, you know what I mean? His demeanor is so respectful. I'm brash. I'm not gonna lie. I just like I walk out of my house and it's just like, the world is now my stage. Look at me, everyone. And, you know, sometimes the wrong people look in my direction and I get a problem. So I'm just like, I'm learning to navigate the waters, so to speak. But like, even in that way, my horoscope's kind of backwards because I'm a salmon, so we go against the current.
It's been a great pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me once again, guys. Really appreciate it. And happy to be back anytime.
All right.
Thank you very much. Give best wishes to you. Your
Thank
family,
you.
wife,
Yes.
that she
Yes.
let you
Awesome.
come on.
Yeah.
I hope all is well and all is good for you, sir.
Yes, all good. Thank you so much, guys.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thank
Right.
you again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you.
Do I just click? Yeah, click.
There's a move in the top right corner. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can let you get back so you can
Okay, bye.
All
Bye,
right, take
guys.
it easy. There we go. All right.
Shit.
All
How
right.
was that? That was
It's awesome.
awesome.
That was intense, bro. Like, the man.
He's the nicest guy you'll ever talk to. Like,
He's like,
and I've met a lot of nice people, but he just gives off that, you know,
Yeah.
he just has that persona.
there's an energy about him that's just like, and it's like, you know, it's almost like Goku with full weight, like full weighted gear kind
And
of
he
thing.
doesn't even acknowledge it himself. Like, you heard him. He's like,
Yeah.
Thank you. No, this is like, you truly are. Like, sure, you might be an asshole here or there, and I've never seen it, but you
Yeah.
project a certain way, and it's just.
It's
And then you watch his music, and you're like, that's him.
That's gotta be where
Yeah,
it goes. That's where it gotta be where it goes. It channels that out. So,
Nice to hear some new music.
oh yeah.
Speaking of new music, John, I hear you're doing something.
I'm doing a lot, actually.
All right, let's talk about it.
So, I mean, I guess we've kind of started talking about it enough now. Next project, Duskwalker's working on. We're putting out an album of covers where all the music is recorded, other than I've got a couple guitar solos to redo and a couple guitar things to clean up. But other than music-wise, we're into vocals now. We're doing seven covers.
Any hints on what some of the covers are? Or is it going to be a big shock to everyone's system that you're doing these songs as covers?
I'd say shock.
Should be a shock because have you ever heard Joey do his growls?
Yeah, so I
Like,
think if
it's-
you listen to our music,
Because I remember.
I don't know if any of these songs you'd be like,
Any King Done?
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Any King Done?
No.
No. Only the live performance. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I know it has been Dawkin. We're doing a Dawkin song.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, right?
That's.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, okay, so that came about we had planned on doing the covers. We picked what songs we wanted to do originally. I think we were just going to do 4 or 5. And then we had an opportunity to go play with some friends for Halloween. They were going to throw a big party out on their farm. Well, fuck it. Let's not play our music. We're working on these covers. Let's just do a couple more covers. Kind of Halloween themed.
Okay.
One of those was let's do Doc and Dream Warriors. And then we didn't even end up playing. We're like, well, we learned these songs. Maybe we should keep a couple of them for the cover album. That one actually is kind of fun to play, and it's definitely a little different.
A lot different.
For us. So
different was you guys playing like a Doom song. That was different. And apparently that became like an instant cult hit for you guys.
Apparently, after the album came out, everybody's like, I love that song.
Actually,
Crushing Away to Guilt is my favorite song on the album.
I
I'm
was
like,
listening to it yesterday. I'm not going to lie. People in Niagara Falls probably heard it too.
good.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's just a slow. I can't remember what was the BPMs. It was under 100.
Yeah, it's pretty slow, maybe like 92 or something like that.
Yeah.
Y'all call 92 slow? I'm sitting here like 92 is almost like a twisted track.
Dude, they're usually playing 150 and up. 160.
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
I think we have 2 songs on the last album that are 210 BPM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kale likes to go fast. Kale likes to go fast.
That is
I think we have one faster for the next record.
even cut time that's faster than most of the genre.
So yeah,
No,
Kale was like,
yeah.
"Can we do one a little faster on the next album?" So,
Wow.
which is one of the other things we're working on. So we're well into the recording of the cover album, but we're also probably halfway into the writing of the next actual Duskwalker album. So
Okay.
Lighten those restrictions up. Let's go.
You know what I mean, though? Let's.
There's 2 albums coming from there. I know
when they'll be coming, who knows? We're kind of slow on
Pretty
things,
busy
but
'cause he wants to do Total Duo again.
that is something else I'm working on is mixes. So as they do songs, they're kind of sending them to me to mix. So
Nice.
Oh, so you're the engineer producer?
yeah, that's
well?
kind of the role.
Okay.
Okay.
How long have you been doing that?
So we were actually talking earlier. I think the first piece of recording equipment I bought, I think, was probably 96, 97. And that was just like, because I want to hear what we're playing. So, okay. Microphone in the middle of the room kind of deal.
Okay.
And I was like, well, this sounds like garbage. How do I make it a little bit better? Buy something else. And then
Okay.
my whole recording process and everything has entirely been just, well, I want to do this, so now I got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that sound.
That's-
They do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been my entire learning process over the years.
That's how I got started with the trump. I had to wait. It was the hardest 4 years of my life, from the first day I saw an instrument, a brass instrument, to when I was actually able. Was it 4 years? Yeah, it was 4 years. I was in kindergarten when I first saw it, so I was 4, and then I wasn't able to join the band until I was 8. So for 4 years, every day I went to school, I would sneak in, I'd look at it, I'd like,
My dad forced me on the drums at the age of 4. By the time I hit the age of 12, I said, "Fuck that noise."
I was dancing. I was dancing.
It was not for me.
I was dancing. Yeah. I
My
didn't
dad
get
was
into
a pro
drums.
drummer, so he's like, "You got to do what I'm doing." No,
Nah.
I don't want to do that.
Oh my gosh, my daughter would hate me if I did that. She's into art, but she does graphic design, like graphic art. Like she likes the drawing, and she's writing a comic book right now, and she's gonna draw the
That's
graphics
awesome.
for it. Yeah, she's 11. I'm just like, where'd you get this from? Like, where, like, I'm in a
Oh,
different.
wait, he's not there. We really don't need him.
Oh,
Yeah,
We really don't need him. We're sitting
Yeah.
around each other.
yeah. We also have distance between, so we can actually just monitor this. That's how
hopefully we
much.
can still hear me.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just hang
My
this right
first
here.
recording setup was an old Tascam cassette tape.
Yep.
It was an 8-track cassette tape.
I still
And
have.
then, I would be a microphone up to an acoustic. And then I would just distort the hell out of the channel to add some fucking distortion. This is like the 14-year-old me thinking this stuff. So it was extremely lo-fi.
I still
And
have
then
my
things like Song Pepper came out.
tape deck.
I'm like, oh, wow, fuck, did he do that? And
Yeah.
things came up, you flip the tape over because they were using the same fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So we'd flip it over.
You
do
get a
little
couple
solo,
extra
flip it back.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip it back over. Violin. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. See, for me, it wasn't even layering the instruments; it was just adding the different songs to it. Like, I literally started making mixtapes on tape. I think I still have the Kenwood system behind these video games that I used to do it on, and I'd sit in front of the TV or the radio, and I'd wait for those mixes, those hours where they played nothing but the hits. So I'd be sitting there and just like, yeah, okay, no, don't like that song. Oh, I like this one. Just hit the record and just like, you know what I mean? Wait for the whole song and have to rewind to cut out the commercial. You know what I mean?
Hope they didn't talk over it.
Yeah. Because once they talk over it, you got to delete and just wait for the next one.
I can teach you that one.
Of course you can. You got.
I had a relative that had an old 8-track that could record.
I still have an 8-track LP
That's
downstairs.
No, I'm old. My favorite thing to record on was the old reel-to-reels. Those were fun. Challenging, but fun.
Never used them.
Oh,
Would be.
Never got into that.
Nerve-wracking.
Oh,
They
Nerve-wracking.
spin.
I've heard.
They spin.
Yeah, because like if there's a weak spot, the tape is out.
Yeah.
If it doesn't break, it'll stretch out. You got to listen to it back, and you're like, I didn't do that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think my first round of digitals when Line 6 came out, the very first
Oh,
UX
yeah.
one, and I still have sitting it at home. All it needs is a new fucking volume pod put in, and it works fine. Yeah, Charlotte, we'll get you back. Don't worry.
Oh snap! We got
Charlotte,
someone.
she's a singer from
Effects may vary.
out of,
Yeah.
Newmarket.
New market areas. So we gotta throw that up there. Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, thanks, Charlotte. I'll get
We
you back, don't
appreciate
worry.
that. Yeah, we were supposed to have her in last week, but like because we had to do a bit of an equipment switch up and my phone became one of the phones, I wasn't able to get her in. But it's nothing but love, you know what I mean? We still got you here. You know, Facebook.com/effectsmayberry.
Yeah.
The effects,
Everything.
literally effects may vary. It's another great marketable name because it's spelt the right way, so there's no confusion, except for effects and effects. But if you say FX, you still get it, right? But yeah, and it's just literally I asked them that same question before the answer to that question, and they're like, yeah, no, you get a little bit of everything. Like,
And they literally do like their new song coming out. It's all kind of clean. And
oh man.
But I love the lyrics to it. She's singing to somebody she knows about pill addiction. It's great.
Second stage is still like I like that. Just the way it comes together, but it starts with like this real nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it starts with this real nice guitar lick. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man.
I still have my very first Line 6 sitting up there.
I got my preamp.
I have an old one sitting in my car right now.
I'm the very first generation.
Yeah, mine
Okay,
isn't that old.
So here's a question for both of y'all.
And
What is your oldest piece of equipment? Technological equipment.
Oh, for recording and that?
Yeah.
I still have my old 80s, mid 80s, early 80s Tascam.
Okay.
Recorder.
Okay.
It's
What
still
about
sitting in a drawer, and I'm pretty sure I still have tapes for it.
Wow. What about you?
The oldest piece I probably have still kicking around. I think I have a multi-effects unit, a DoD Effects 7.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
I have one of those kicking around. That's probably like the first digital thing I ever bought.
Okay.
You know something? I didn't buy a multi-effects board until like about a year and a half ago.
Really?
Mine are still speakers.
I'm still old school. I run 2 pedal boards, one in the front of my amp, one through the effects loop of my amp.
Yeah, I'm done
And
doing
then I'm
that.
like, okay.
Like fuck all that
Line
nonsense.
6 died. I'm like, I like the sound of the Line 6. I can manipulate it to be my tone, the way I want.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, so I went and bought a HD 500X pop used. And I'm like, damn, I love this thing. And then I paid the $100 and got the extra shit with it.
Yeah.
No, Line 6, I don't mind.
Mine are speakers.
All I use now.
Yeah, I know
Definitely
you do.
speakers.
And that's what made me start to think. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to your tone. Huh,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty good. Just pump through the fucking PA with nothing. Maybe I should make a 0 rig. It's just my pedal
Great.
board, pick it up and go. So if I'm going to say like play some backwoods freaking club that's 50 stories up, I'm carrying this. I ain't carrying my 412. Fuck y'all. Because I
Yeah.
have bass amps, so they're heavy.
Well, yeah. So back in the day, I used to like rock a pedal board that was whatever, like 3 feet wide. So, but maybe not quite that big, but or at least not as many pedals. Yeah, he's ridiculous. But yeah, the huge pedal board with a whole thick thing of cables going to a bass amp, a speaker cab, another speaker cab, another head. Like, it's just like, how much gear am I going to bring to carry up 2 flights of stairs and play for 12 people?
Oh man.
You're playing out of
I
town.
have 3 rigs.
It's just like,
It depends what I'm playing.
If I'm going on one level, I'm bringing like entry. If it's like right in, I can bring both sets of speakers, the PA, we good. If I'm going upstairs, I'm bringing whatever can fit on that cart. If I'm going up more than 2 flights of stairs, y'all better have the equipment there. Nah, sorry.
My main rig that was for 20 years was a custom PV 300 combo bass amp.
Oh, the
It got
PV.
custom into a head.
nice.
So it got cut down. It still weighs more than my 15-inch freaking Yorkville.
PVs are heavy.
Yeah.
Like that gets paired up with my 15-inch speaker. That's my bass set
I find
that
that
I've had for decades.
I find that PV makes some heavy fucking shit.
And
Bro.
then I just
Yeah.
upgraded
Oh, yeah.
to a MPEG Pro VST3, and I use that a lot for just recording because it has a direct out, so I can get that nice warm tube.
Yeah.
And bass amps have so much better control over EQ that
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He sounds like he just had a good meal.
I remember when I started, like when I first actually taken guitar seriously.
Yeah.
I knew 4 chords and went, I don't like the sound of this. I need to figure out my sound before I figure out how to play, because I don't want to play to what I sound like. I want to have that sound so I can play, what I hear. Because I've met a few musicians who are like, they can play everything, but their sound is nowhere near to what they're playing.
That's the thing. When I
That was a
started
big
playing
tone.
guitar, it was all about like learning to play all day, every day. That was, the first 10, 15 years I was playing, it was just about being able to
I
play.
every day.
And then, but since then, it's been way less about playing guitar. Like, I barely practice. I play guitar when I have to play guitar. It's all about sound. Like, I want to make things sound a certain way. I want to hear things. I want to.
You want to tone change.
Yeah, like
Well,
that's
I spent the first
what it
3
is.
years of my life, of my guitar life, yes, learning, playing every day, jamming, but I was chasing that tone in my head. And I finally found it after like 3 years, and everything else just kind of like, whoosh. It just worked a lot better. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't chase that tone, and they never do, but it just seems to hold them back because they're trying to play with the sound they have.
If you sound better, you
Well,
will
if you-
play
if you
better. You
sound-
will want to
But if
play
you can
more.
sound what's in your head.
Yeah.
Which is why it comes down to speakers at some point. It does.
No, I'm actually
at some
he gets his
points-
sound.
I've got rid of speakers.
He doesn't
Well,
run
monitors. I have. Well, that's from a.
Yeah.
Isn't that from a guitar playing perspective? I'm talking from a producer perspective.
Even that. So I know lots of people, and all like the gear pages and stuff that I
Okay.
follow. Like so many people, they're like, no, you need these headphones or these speakers, which I get to a point.
Okay.
But it's what sounds best to you.
But your ears will also get tuned to whatever you're used to. So our last album, which I think sounds really good,
Okay.
it was all mixed on very cheap studio monitors and a set of speakers that aren't even. They're just a cheap set of speakers.
Huh.
But my ears are tuned to them. So like if somebody else came in and tried to mix on my setup, they'd be like, it would sound like garbage, whatever they mix, because
Okay, because they don't know
I
the.
didn't mix
but my
specifics
ears are
of
so
the-
tuned to my setup.
So as long as you know what you're using, your mix will come out. Okay, so I don't know. I still think like based on, and this is just based on the conversation I'm catching. It's like, so where does the equipment where does the equipment become the deciding factor? Like, where does the bridge between talent and equipment begin?
I don't think that line ever gets defined because you
Yeah.
can pick up your skill to surpass equipment, but equipment will always be there to match you. You can always spend more money on better equipment.
Yeah.
Even the top of the line is only top of the line for a year, especially.
And even then,
production.
I've always been a huge proponent of just know how to use your equipment, know how to get what you can of it. Because I used to use equipment that was like not
I still use
great.
equipment that's 20 years old.
Like stuff that is cheap, really doesn't sound that great. But I'll play a gig where the guitar player in the other band has like top of the notch fucking, he has the best fucking gear. It's like, holy shit. And they sound like garbage.
Okay.
So that's kind of, I've always been more about like, it's know how to use the gear rather than just having the best stuff.
Because
I mean, if you know how to use it and you have the good gear, you're going to be untouchable.
that's
Tone-wise.
exactly the
What's his
benefit
name
of it. But sorry.
Hysteria.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Wicked tone.
Oh, yeah.
It's that's why again I'm going back to speakers because that's my oldest equipment and my newest equipment. So like when I mix it and I bounce it out to say I have the monitors that I use and then I bounce it out to the PA and then I have another like the stack of PA so I can hear it back like how it would play in a live setting kind of thing. But yeah, there I find there's a gray area. I won't call it a line then between like equipment and skill set.
You
totally.
gotta have the skill set to use the equipment you have, regardless if it's Behringer bottom of the line or high-end Mackie or Pro Tools. If you don't have the knowledge and the ability to use it, you're gonna sound shit no matter what. Like honestly, you're just gonna sound garbage. And there's millions of albums out there you can put on where they're playing in like prestige, like Beatles, freaking studios with all that.
Yeah.
Like a shitty engineer.
Yeah.
And then you have bands like Tom Petty that, go rehearse for 2 weeks and go lay tracks on a freaking 16-track tape machine with an engineer that can do it with his eyes closed, and you get multi-selling million gold, platinum, albums. And he did it also with cheap machinery too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the knowledge behind the machine knows what they're doing, you can make anything sound good.
Yeah.
Like anything you hear of mine online, it's all done with a set of headphones. No monitors.
Yeah, I guess that's what we learned. I don't want to strain my brain with the monitors. I'll mix or with the headphones. I'll mix and then I'll listen to it in the monitors, but to finalize. But
yeah,
like,
see, I tend to try and I'm not a huge fan of wearing headphones.
Yeah, last hour and a half shows that.
Yeah. He's like, my fucking hair, man. I can't believe you're gonna make me mess it. No, I'm playing.
But yeah, I'll throw them on just when I have what I think is a pretty good mix going on. Okay, now what does it sound like in the headphones?
Yes.
Or if I'm tracking guitar, okay, these parts are a little bit much, and I really need that click like exploding in my head to be able to like nail some of those parts. Headphones are on.
You have musicians that sit in the studio with the monitors cranked so loud.
See, that's how I prefer to track as much as I can. Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, that's how I
like I just want that stuff just blasted loud and you feel it.
Yeah, the guitar. Yeah, but like
personally, when I'm in a band setting, okay, you guys do your stuff, record it, make me a scratch rhythm track, so I can go home, sit down with it, and I can play with it. So I'm not wasting anybody's time. I can sit home and play with it. And go, okay, what do you think? Yeah, okay, now let's record it. Because I gotta find out where I fit, because it's not always the same when you write. I find when you write it and you're sitting around in the jam space, you write it, and then you go to the studio and you're like, yeah, that didn't sound as good as it did over there. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You gotta switch something. You know what I mean?
Actually, a great example of the headphones versus the monitors, because like I said, my preferred method is crank it and play along to coming out of the speakers.
Okay.
But when I was tracking guitars for one of the songs on the cover album, it's an old Metallica song.
Yeah, I might have to try.
So that's probably the least surprising song on the album. It's just really fast, and the drums, because Lars plays
It's not
odd.
metronome.
Yeah. So Kale's trying to, match that same kind of drumming, and it's weird. So that was like headphones with the metronome cranked because I needed.
Yeah, Lars
I
is
needed
not
it
really
to-
in time, but what he does,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like,
So, like,
Chinese
his
musician
snare-
listens to Metallica and they lose their fucking mind
Yeah.
because it's
So his
not-
snare hits are on the upbeat. So instead of doing this, that's where the snare is. So trying to track to that, just like blasting through the monitors,
and then
like, I
nothing but
can't,
downstrokes.
because I end up playing to that snare. Now I'm out of time, even though it sounds
I
like.
don't know what song you're talking about now.
Maybe.
They have one
Hey.
famous song that's actually
Maybe.
the snares on the upbeat and it's all down.
Maybe.
That's another pretty. That is a very unique thing to him
Serious.
because even like the most seasoned musicians have problem playing that for 7 minutes. It's
Yeah.
all downstrokes, because you want to go back up.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
I think I know what song he's talking about.
You might be wrong. You might.
Well, there's not many songs with the snares on the upbeat.
That sounds like the name of a good game show, though. You might be wrong. What's in the box?
Yeah, you might be wrong.
Put your hand in and take a feel. What's in the box?
If it bites, it's not a
Oh, man. You got to sign this waiver first. Sign this waiver. Now put your hand in the box. Okay, there we go.
problem. Where's LG? We'll get him to put his hand in the box.
Oh, man. Where is LG?
He's downstairs. He hasn't come up. Like, I got Mike here for him and everything.
He's probably getting ready for cooking with LG, or LG's cooking. We got that coming up in a bit. Yeah. It's gonna be tasty. It's gonna be tasty.
Damn.
Yep.
Hey, let's hear what John's local bands he likes.
Local bands I like.
Let's see if he names all the ones that are currently active.
I feel like most of the local bands that I like are really local to here. Other
Yeah, they are. Well, there's
Electric Dead, man. They do it
Sam
for
just-
me.
I-
They do it for me.
I'm a fan of everything that he's been doing lately.
Like I think I've messaged Keisho and been like, I'm pumped for the next Electric Dead album, but I'm also
Worried it might be different.
super not different, worried about, like, because when you like an album so much and then they put out
Next
another
one.
album and you're like, it's not as good.
Yeah.
Not that I think they're gonna put out something that's not good. It's just like where I put that first Electric Dead album. It's like it is
It's my arm wrestle the truck.
You can't say a burger is a burger is a burger because they always prepare.
like
it
I've
differently.
spun
There's
that
grilled,
album a
there's charred.
lot.
Same here.
Grilled, charboiled.
Like I really like it.
I'll
It's just that I like it so much that it would be hard to put out another album that I would like that much. That's the only concern.
Wow.
If they can do it, I'll be ecstatic.
I actually enjoy all the stuff he's currently doing.
Yeah.
The Wake is great. When they said Delta Blues, I'm like, okay, this could go one of two ways. Really, really good or really, really bad. And I'm quite glad it's really, really good.
But other than the Electric Dead, yeah, it's like Dumpster Mummy, which you've already mentioned. Like,
Love that
come
guys.
on.
Y'all don't want to check
Come
out the
on.
spell later on tonight on
It had to be 5,
twitch.tv
6 years ago.
/dispel_music.
Was it the Spill?
No longer there.
We've played with them at the Spill.
So we drove
It
off.
was like a Monday night. There was nobody there.
We were just playing for ourselves. We almost actually shot in the front window. Oh no, man! It was breathing. It was going like it was pushing out because I like the low end. Like the only way to
Yeah.
describe my tone is take the breakdown for domination,
Yeah.
that bass push, and then mix it with like Man in the Box. Combine
Nice.
those two tones, and that's pretty much me. But and then low end bass, and then just drum. That whole it was
Yeah.
just breathing. It was great.
Yeah, I think after we played with them there, one of the Dumpster Mummy guys had mentioned, like, because when there's nobody there, like we've played a couple gigs with them that, like, it's just like, holy fuck, there's nobody here, and it's like middle of the week, and they're just like, they will treat it like a jam.
Yep.
Like, well, let's just fucking
Have
play
blast.
some stuff. Whereas us, we're like, well, we're here to play. We're going to do what we do. And they're like, that's crazy that there'll be like 3 people and you guys are still just doing like your thing.
So it's supposed to be.
Like, that's just, I don't know.
Because if you practice like it's if you play like it's an empty house. But that's the thing. If you play like it's an empty house, then the energies will be felt, and then
no, Dumpster Mummy has the East Coast mentality. If it's an empty house, this is a house jam time. Let's have some fucking
which
fun. Get up on stage. Let's have
which for them doing that is equally as great as like
Like I say, you got to play like it's a full house all the time, or else they won't generate the energy.
That way, they're still treating it like it's a full house, but they're doing it their
Yeah.
way. It's like, okay, we're in the jam studio. We're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because Brad has social anxiety at stage fright. If you actually watch this man play live, his eyes are closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's freaking tap dancing on his board.
Well, I was gonna mention, like, because you already mentioned like his pedal board, and it's like the way I look at him with his pedal board is he's essentially playing 2 instruments. So he's playing guitar, but that pedal board is another instrument.
And it's playing up
like he has the timing down for all of it and knowing what to hit and when, and like.
And he's doing live loops.
Choreography.
Yes.
Oh, he's doing live loops. Like you'll hear guitar playing, but he's playing something different. Then all of a sudden he'll hit a switch and that loop will play.
It's ridiculous.
While he's playing the rhythm again.
Yeah.
Like,
Choreography.
Yeah, it really is.
And his eyes are closed the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
he has his hoodie up, his eyes closed, and he's just bouncing around and his feet are going.
Yeah. And the drummer for my the band that I was in used to do that. She'd play like, I think it was like an 11-12 piece kit, and her eyes are closed the whole time, and it's like, wait a minute, how do you even know where what is?
Yeah.
Like that's bonkers.
Yeah, you get that muscle memory down, and then you can just worry about feeling it.
That's the bad thing about guitar.
Because you're
remember like 4 or 5 chords that just, usually the first chords you were working on when you're bored and you don't really want to play, all of a sudden playing those chords that you hate.
So not so much chords for me, but it's like doing lead stuff, like when I'm trying to write solos and stuff. It's like
You're always going back to
the same handful of patterns. So it's like, okay, I've already used that pattern a lot, so gotta.
And no matter how much you learn, you still seem to fall back.
Yeah, because you've been doing them for years.
Yeah, there's a certain progression I know that I can play with my trumpet that for some strange reason is soothing, and then like I go outside that range and people look at me like, "What are you doing? Go back to the other stuff." Okay, cool. That's simple. That's basic. You sure? Yeah, man. Do that. All right, cool.
Well, it's like when I was downstairs and DK was here, and literally I came over. We were gonna do an evening show, and a producer buddy downstairs making beats. I'm like, ooh, hold on, I got my bass here. And I started playing lines like, yeah, just play that. Really? This is just a simple bass line. Like, come on.
It doesn't have
You're like,
to be
do something
complicated to be
cool.
musical.
I start doing some double tap. No, play that.
Nah, you specific.
Oh, it sounds great, and it was fun once I found my groove in it. But yeah, it's kind of.
Well, that's like you put on that producer hat. Sometimes it's like, no, just trust me. When I put all the other things, it's gonna sound awesome.
Be a musician. Like,
yeah.
I'm writing this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just play. I gotta shut up and play. It's hard to do that some days. Really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you got as much to do as we usually do. My God, it's madness. This is supposed to be my living room, as you can see. It's like
just full of gear.
Just gear. This is like my administrative shit right here. I'm telling you, it's madness. Any given point, and it's like this pulls out. So if I fall it, just forget this, wake back up, and I'm back at it again. It's just.
We have had people sitting on the couch downstairs.
Literally,
and in chairs.
Yeah.
Like this is a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually start about 12. Today was a little earlier.
10, 30, 11. Well, you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you messaged me at 10:30. You're like, we're good to go, so you can show up whenever.
Yeah, we were just setting up. Come on down.
Yeah, bring it.
Get comfortable.
Exactly. And that's why I like the setting that it is, because you don't have this, oh no, I can't sit there because it's gonna break kind of feeling. It's like, okay, it's durable. We're definitely not kid proof here, but you know what I mean? But at the same time, adults can come through and see,
Yeah.
all right, there's shit that's going on. Like that probably reminds people of some of their childhood. That shelf over there, sitting there, it's like, wow, Transformers and remote control cars. Like, is this guy serious about life? Yes, I'm also serious
I
about
gotta
fun.
get Joey and Matt on for you. I really gotta talk to
Yeah.
you too. You want some wrestling? You want them for your wrestling show?
Yeah, you do a whole show on wrestling with Joey and
He
Matt.
does every week.
I'm doing one tomorrow at around 3-4 o'clock. We're doing the prediction show for Fastlane, and if I get more predictions right than my co-host Teely, then I get my title back.
They have
Which
a belt. They pass back and forth.
yes,
A legit belt.
I made it. I can show you a picture of it actually.
No, not the big.
Not like this.
Not that
Not
belt.
like that. But it's like this one down here.
Like homemade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they pass it back and forth. Whoever wins the. But I have a feeling Joey would have a blast, and so would Matt talking about.
Yeah.
For like an hour straight.
You could definitely get Joey. I'm sure Matt would dig doing it. It'd just be actually getting him to like come.
You can even do it online. Yeah.
He'll do that.
I think that would
He'll
be
do that.
interesting to see them two.
I like it, man. Like I just want to talk to them beforehand so we can just like mesh it up and see where.
Because
You know
when
what I mean?
we had Tommy on.
Bro, we were talking. They were all talking.
25 minutes.
I'm sitting there just like, okay, don't worry. As soon as they segue to wrestling, I'm jumping in this bitch.
Just waiting for your moment.
Exactly. And then like, so then he saw it quiet. He's like, so David probably has a question to ask. So I'm like, so where are you with the WWE? He's like, oh, and then we had boom, just like
just flip.
we went through the attitude from the attitude era right up to now. And it was just like, yeah, that's what's up. Roman Reigns is a heel, definitely a good thing. But he's gonna fight Daniel Bryan, and Edge is gonna be the.
Because Joey brings up wrestling a lot in a lot of things.
Edge is gonna be the.
He would love to just.
I'm waiting
Special
for him to
enforcer.
get in the booth the other night to start tracking vocals, and they're talking about wrestling. And
That's my dude.
I'm like, all right, I want to go to bed tonight, so
Yeah, we do it the
get in the
Sundays.
booth.
The pay-per-view Sunday. We usually try for Sundays, but it's definitely the pay-per-view Sundays we do the prediction episode. So if they can free up, the next one is probably going to be a double show because it's WrestleMania. No, next one is Fastlane. The one after that is WrestleMania.
No clue. I haven't watched wrestling since I think '92.
Bro, it happens every spring. It's like the showcase.
It's been longer than that for me.
Dude, after I worked the WrestleMania at the Skydome, that was the last time I watched it.
X8. I think it was
That's with Bad News Brown.
Edge and
No, I wasn't even there, man. It was
Yeah.
before Edge, dude.
no, it would have had no.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that was my time.
That
Mike
one.
Volkov.
Oh shit. Okay,
And
that
then
was
all
like
these men behind stage in their workout center.
Skydome. You said Skydome. I was thinking ACC.
Oh, they were popping needles the whole nine. It was great.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well.
You know, the steroid era was just before that started kicking in.
Well, I
That was the
mean,
start of it. And that's when I realized Nikolai Volkov was a very large man that swallowed a barrel. His fucking chest was out like a fucking barrel.
like,
Like, it
that was a
crazy.
big dude.
I
Yeah.
was and I was a pretty tall kid, and I'm looking up like this, going, "Fuck me."
But from the 80s, like the 80s to like the early 90s, they were like
Flying
anywhere
Brian.
from fucking like Flying Brian was like 215, and then you had Earthquake that was like 380 or some shit like that.
Abdul the Butcher.
Holy fuck.
George the
Kamala,
Animal- The nicest person I ever met in wrestling was George the Animal Steel.
the buckle
He
biter.
acted like crazy, but he was well educated, well mannered, and well spoken. It was amazing at how much of a flip it was.
The buckle biter.
Yeah. And it was the same thing with Roddy.
Oh, Piper? Oh man, I could only imagine
Came
him.
from Rouge Hill.
Oh yeah, he was Canadian. Yeah.
He was born and raised in Rouge Hill,
Oh shit.
around the corner from where I lived.
Ain't that something?
He was a really nice guy,
Yeah.
and he was another one. Really, like, say, no, I'm not that good. Really, dude?
He's
You know
one
what
of
I mean? Like,
One
Yeah.
of the best to never get the world heavyweight title.
he should have,
Yeah, a couple of times.
right? But
Yeah.
anyways,
Piper's
these,
Pit.
these are conversations you need with Joey.
Yeah, man.
Joey would be right here on the edge.
Yeah,
of
you
the
guys
seat.
are just.
He'd be sitting up, and the vocal level would be kicking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that is great. That is great. Hey, we have oh my gosh, there's the Terrell Effect, Candid Conversations, Daddy Daughter Time, Tough Talks with Tilly and the
This man
Block,
is a
and the
business.
Savage Circle.
Apparently.
Yeah, so there's at least 3 or 4 of those 5, you can have him on for this conversation.
Joey would have a blast doing wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Next week we have Shannon on.
Oh yes. Our
Yes.
Muppet maker. We're getting Muppets made of us.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is.
Do you know how freaky it is?
Bro, like it is like I was there in house and I saw one of them and I'm just like, that's me.
Oh, dude,
I'm that. It was
pretty surreal.
It is, bro. Like even when I walked in, there was no question as to who that is. There's absolutely, you need to hold that up to the camera and put your face close to it. There is no question as to who that is.
Like, seriously, it's insane.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Look at me. Hold on. Watch me. I'll get real close. Tell me you can't see me as a puppet in that shit.
Like it's insane. Like she said she was making these. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's kind of scary, freaky.
There was a couple of people who, you know what I mean, came to mind when it was like, they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, because whenever anything good happens to me, I like to share that shit with people. So it's like, who could I think of? And we were working, and it's just like, oh yeah, this guy as a puppet is gonna be fucking great. Like, there's no way this can't happen. So you know what I mean? And then, oh my gosh, this is another thing that I can't believe that that was possible. My wife is one. That's who the pink-haired one is, and like.
And LG's gonna be
LG's gonna be one.
You'll meet him in a second when he decides to
Yeah,
come out and say hi.
when he pops in, you know what I mean? He's probably waiting for his show to start.
Well, I was just thinking, man, can we get some of those and do our next Duskwalker video as Muppets?
Oh,
We could talk.
and see what that cost would be.
Yeah, I already know what the cost would be. We'll just talk about that off camera.
There you go. That would be fucking awesome.
Well, the biggest hurdle would be me convincing the other guys to be like, all right,
Cal would be
our
all
next
about
video, Muppets.
it. Okay, get Cam on your side. Do what happened.
Oh man, I mean, I hope she's watching right now because she'll be
That would be awesome.
she would be excited to
fucking awesome that would be.
like that would be some
Right?
great exposure too for like
A
both
little
of y'all.
guitar on it.
Just watching Cal go.
You'd have to
Oh,
give
that-
her like 6 months,
Yeah,
maybe at
Oh,
least.
that'd be amazing.
I don't even want to say 6 months. It would take a little bit of time to make sure.
That's okay.
everything
We
was
work
down.
slow.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah,
See,
we.
Hill says that he does maximum 12 a year. I think that's the arc for Maddie. 12 and we gotta slow down now. I'm bugging. Maddie's a great guy,
Oh man.
but he also admits he's like the laziest musician in
Yeah.
life.
Well,
That means you
he's
know how to get it done.
he is incredible as a bandmate because you just tell him where to be and when to be there, and he just shows up and then he knows.
There you
He's like
go.
a metronome all by himself. He's pretty fucking locked in.
That's the quickest part of recording a Duskwalker album
'Cause
is tracking bass because it just depends on how much time you have. So these 7 songs that we're doing for the cover album, I only had a couple hours each night. He did 4 songs
Yeah,
one night,
he puts
3
the
songs the
work
next,
in
and
and
that's
he
because
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Once he has it down, that's it. It's just there.
goes.
It's you no longer have to worry about him.
See.
Maddie's really he's a good bass player. He's,
I can't wait till we can open up a little bit more so we can set up to have people play the jams. Eric,
Real life happens when you lie.
real life happens all the time, bro. It's not a gremlin this time.
Hey, there was no gremlin, so you can.
You're the one who called for the gremlins. I actually
Yeah.
aim to make sure they don't happen.
They didn't happen.
I-
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't call
Oh, no,
them this
we've
week.
had shows put off for a half an hour.
I didn't call them this week though. That's probably why we didn't have gremlins. I didn't call them this week at all. I left them alone. So I called the office of the premier every week religiously because you can't tell me you have my best interests in mind if you don't know what my interests are. And if you're going to take all this money out of my pocket and claim that you have good in store for me, let me tell you what the good I want to happen is so we can make it happen. So,
He's
you know,
relentless. Like, this man is-
right? Listen,
Good.
like you have a problem with the political office, let me know. Like I got the Charter of Rights and Freedoms hanging up in the front foyer for a reason. So everybody when they come into this house knows what their rights are and they understand that I respect theirs enough to hope they don't infringe on mine. So, you know what I mean? And that's just the foundation of the development that we have. And it's like when it's like, okay, we're here to do this, it's like, okay, do that. Oh, no. We have to do this. No. You have to do that. That's what I need done. That's what I need you to focus on. That's not in our purview. Whose purview is it in? let me talk to them.
This man is ruthless.
Like, you don't even want to get me on the phone with a corporation. I was on the phone with Samsung the other day about my watch because it said that it's a smartwatch and it's a very good watch, other than the fact that it said it calculates elevation. So I'm walking up and down my stairs like, yeah, I'm gonna get my stairs. I'm gonna get my steps in, up and down the stairs. No elevation steps. What do you mean? I went up and I went down. It's supposed to count at least once for the all the way up and then all the way down. No? Okay, cool. Send them a tweet. This does not do what it says it's supposed to do. I paid for it to do this. I needed to do this, or I need some money back. Or you need to change, or you need to update the system so that this isn't on there. Check my watch last week. The elevation thing isn't there anymore. Yeah, you can, and that's the thing. That's why I ask people if there's anything you would advocate for, what would it be? Like any of the things that you come across in life. Like aside, we are advocating for music by being here and putting.
The government needs to do more for music.
Oh, okay.
I mean, how many months have you been out of musical work?
So
Your last show
it's been over a year since
I think I'm on 14
I played.
months.
Yeah.
And
As for Duskwalker, 13, 14, 15, 16 months for Duskwalker.
And what has the government given you or helped you with?
We're currently trying to figure out how we're going to pay to release our music.
Don't worry, man. The government gave us $2.5 million to split between 100,000
everyone.
people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not counting businesses.
does that mean we all get $250 if there's only 100,000 of us? Because
I'm sorry to say.
Well, we've got
big
zero.
enough
We've got
$250.
zero.
names. Yeah, we don't have big enough names.
Yeah.
Got money.
Oh, $250 isn't even gonna. That would barely cover the month of like what it costs.
Yeah.
Okay, Ford's sitting on what, 17 million right now?
No, that's okay. I'm crawling up in his ass just now. I don't know.
It's insane
You
how
think
everyone's saying that we're all essential. In my life, music is essential.
For my
Without music,
psychology.
I dead. You know what I mean?
For my
I have
psychology.
a bad day, a song goes on.
Yep.
I'm having a good day, a song goes on.
Yep.
I want to relax, music goes on. You
Yep.
know what
Yep.
I mean? I get in the car. I don't want to kill somebody while I'm driving. Guess what? My music's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to shows to meet new people and meet new musicians. I can't do that.
The driver's side.
So that's the thing. We put out. It's not so new anymore, but when we put out our last album, we spent a lot of money buying merchandise, getting everything ready. We played
You guys did one show.
one show because we put out the album at the end of November, and then immediately thought about we don't want to go out and like try to support the album in the winter. We did the Halloween show, and then our album release was about a month after that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, we don't want to go out and travel places in Canada in the winter. We'll wait until springtime. That's when we had all our gigs lined up.
Yearly down in the States.
Yep.
That show.
So everything was lined up starting in spring. We're sitting on a lot of money worth of merchandise.
Yep.
I bought some.
Everything got canceled. We're still sitting on all that merchandise.
You know what?
Now wondering, like, this was a
How
conversation.
How much of a debt do we want to take to discount this?
So, tracking vocals the other night, finished that up. Then we were having a discussion of how are we going to pay? How much do we want to spend on this covers album? Like, we're not even talking about our own music, just the cover album. Like, how are we going to do this? All our money got spent buying merchandise that we can't go out and sell. I mean, we could sell it online and stuff, but
But it's still going to take a lot of nickeling and diming, and it's still a loss of some sort.
yeah.
Because you gotta
So
ship it
most
all
of
out.
our money is tied up in stuff that we can't go out and promote.
Oh, no, we know another band in Cleveland that's like that. It's Dispel. They actually turned around and put together a digital package for $10.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought it.
They're not making anything off of it, really. They're just trying to minimize some of that
If
loss.
you can get enough people to buy it, and, you know, it won't be as much of a loss. It's like I have philosophies about society and where it comes to the economy, and it's like if you give them a lot for a little bit, they'll tell more people to come back and get it. But even if you know it's worth more than you want to charge, like it's like convincing them that it's worth it is
For
not,
sure.
it's terrible. It's like I know
Nobody wants to pay more than $10 for it.
I know I put my soul into this. It's like it takes me. You see that stack of fucking QR codes right there?
Yeah.
Each section of that took me about 2 hours. Like I printed them, cut them, laminated them, cut them, and then sorted them out. So each person had their own section. So it's like that takes 2-3 hours, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'll charge you like $25 a page because you get the promo out of it, and it's just like, you know what? That's too much. Let me say 15.
Actually, we went through that thing. You know?
Yeah,
we were supposed to help somebody out. We're like $60.
Yep.
You will do everything. All you have to do is show up and talk.
All you see here.
$60 and you got 2 people doing everything, and not even on camera. We'll be off camera running your shit.
All you see here.
And he's like, and they're like, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
I'll do it myself. Okay. Boom, on your face you went.
Yep. And it's like, I'm not gonna force you to help you. It's like I know we're not the biggest media outlet, but we have enough eyes in enough places that, you know what, shit, someone that might not have seen me without you sharing the link on your page now will see me and might like something that I'm doing to watch something else, and in turn the same might happen for you. And like it's a conversation, really. How much stress is it to I look up, show up, and talk? You'd be surprised.
They're like, oh no, I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. This system alone that you're watching up there, just to run this streaming is $100 a month. Just to run a stream.
So you can do things like this. Play a commercial for you. Hold up. You see them pepper, yeah? You know them, Mac? Soulicious pepper sauce. Too hot for tech. XX Inferno. We have 2 flavor. Bring one for your friend or even your neighbor. Soulicious pepper sauce. Look on the ingredient. No fat in it. And we have spices, yes. Soulicious pepper sauce. We have the niceness. Put it in your drink and spice it up, yes. Soulicious pepper sauce. We have apron too. So worth the eat. Just right for you. All right, we're back.
And it's just some of the shit I've seen. It's been
like I was
stupid.
Yeah.
Like, here, I'll help you guys. Okay. Now, can you come help us? No.
No. Oh, that's the best. That's the best. It's not even like that. It's I'll help you and I'll help you. You know him. I'll help him. I'll help you. I'll help her. I remember one time I was working with this group, and I was working with the one guy constantly, and then he introduced me to a bunch of other people. So I'm like, okay, you guys are a little bit disorganized. Let me utilize my capacity to correct chaos and line everything up. So we had everything lined up. Each of them had a release lined up. Each of them had videos lined up. And then I was supposed to help them with the release of it because of the podcast and everything. Well, didn't the one guy become a prima donna?
In the music industry, we call it LSD.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, my dude got so crotchety.
So
like
that disease so many times it's unreal.
No, oh man,
it's a tough one.
It's hard, bro. Because
the contracts because of it.
I got to the point where I'm just like, yeah, no, click, podcast done, everything done, I'm done, bye.
Now in the music, like, as bands, it's horrible.
Now I'm talking about y'all.
You find a band that you musically you both gel. You can hang out and like, okay, you guys headline this show, what headline that show? When you get to that show, they're like, no, we want to headline. This is the deal. That's your area, so you headline. This is my area. What?
Yeah.
No, it's just fine.
Yep.
Some of the horror stories that I go into.
I don't doubt them.
John,
I'm just not gonna say anything.
But you come from a more. I think your time was a little bit more polite.
No.
Really?
I've seen bands beat the shit out of bands.
Yeah, but that's
5 minutes too long.
But that's more direct. Okay, more direct. Back here, like up now, like it's like, oh yeah, hi, how you doing? Let's be good friends. And then behind the back, it's like, oh, that guy over there, man, he's fucked in his head, son.
Oh, that's been going for 30 years.
You don't even want to work here. And it's like, wait a minute, but I didn't. Why smile in my face and then stab me in the back?
Here now.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh. It happened as recently as what? 6 weeks ago? Fuck.
I've been through it a few times.
Oh, too many times to count.
I was part of a local band, and I won't talk about the exit, but you know, it was a good thing until certain things happened, and that was it.
LSD.
Close.
Oh wait, hold on. LGD.
I was gonna say, guitar players aren't that much better.
That's the thing. I've kind of corrected myself from when I was younger. I wanted to be that guy that does the solos and to the point where, fuck that. I just want to sit back here and have some fun.
I wanted to be the
go
main
up there and do something. Let the singer go act like an idiot. I'll just sit back here and play.
Nah, but the thing for me, I wanted to be the main eventer, and when I was the main eventer, I wanted to open. Fuck that shit. Nah, because when you're the main eventer, not only do you gotta wait for everybody else. If you're the first one there, like, what are you doing for 3 hours? If it's drinking, by the time you get on stage, you're sloshed as fuck. So then it's just like, I don't really feel like doing it. Oh well, yeah, this is me. And it's just like people are looking at you like, why are you even on stage and shit? So
I've been through a few of those shows.
and it's worse when you have to bring the fucking equipment. Oh my god, then you gotta wait
Well,
till
then I'm the kind of musician, even if I'm the first opening, and we did it at the last Wretched Fest, we were the opening act. So we were there at 11 o'clock in the morning. We did all our setup, our quick little sound check. Never mind the gremlins that went on with that. But the gremlins that went on with our show, and I think we left at like 1:30 in the morning. Because I'm the type of guy, okay, I open the show. Yeah, I'm watching these fucking bands. Because hopefully some of them are there from my spot, you know? I gotta watch everybody that plays. If I'm the first actor or the last actor.
yeah, that's me. Like if you're on stage and I want you to follow up what I'm doing, like I want you to watch me, so I'm gonna watch you. That's just the respect that's due, right?
You're bringing up a lot of stuff that I definitely have opinions on and comments about, but I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Oh,
Too identifiable if you say something, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't know.
Well, it is what it is.
Some of them are pretty general, but
you know, we have our own personas of what we want our music to represent and how we carry it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm different. Like if you catch me outside in the grocery store, I'm a completely different demon than when I'm sitting in front of my production set, because that's all my ego and my arrogance and like my chivalry and my benevolence, that's all combined into one. You know what I mean? That's out there. I ain't got shit to show for me. You know what I mean? Like I can tell you I have all that stuff, but unless you see it, it doesn't register. But when it registers, I'm just like, it's registered.
I was always the one that just wanted to go play my shit. There's other bands I had to watch them because they're watching me do my shit, so I got to show the same courtesy. You know what I mean? That's just my outlook and the way I was brought up as a musician.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to show up 5 minutes before my 11 o'clock in the evening set. I do my show and then run.
It's shitty if you're putting on a show and you have a band and you have to. Well,
you don't get to enjoy.
We would like to put them on earlier, but if we do that, them and any crowd they bring are not going to be here for the band that we want to have the most people for.
And that's where you got to.
So we got to put them on after.
Sorry, you just get
There is a lot of talent juggling that way, which I fully understand. Some people draw more. That's just the simple fact.
Facts.
Right? But I'm talking to people that show up 5 minutes before their set.
Well, that's what I mean. It sucks with those ones that like, okay, they're going to draw, but if they're on early, they're leaving. And as soon as they're done, and taking those people with them.
But if they're also on too late, people don't show up.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Which
is horrible.
Yeah, it's a hard.
And these are the musicians that don't show up until a half hour before their set
because they're so gassed on the fact that they're the main event.
Dude, I've headlined so many shows where there's been 5 people to a couple of thousand. It don't matter.
Okay, so you're a unicorn.
To me, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 1,000. I'm still there to do what I'm paid to do.
Exactly.
Let that be beer or cash, but you know what I mean? I'm there to do something. I'm not there to, it's not about me.
Well,
For some reason, they want me there to play my crappy music, so I'm going to go there and do the best I can for myself.
From the equipment, from the opening act to the last person in there, I've had to be that guy there. Like from project management to just showing up with my equipment or just showing up. So I've seen in my short time the whole span of things, and it's like the more you do, it's like the shittier they treat you. Kind of, oh, you're willing to do that, eh? Okay, cool. Well, then here, take this too. Motherfucker, what? I'm already carrying something. Oh, you can just balance it on top of that, can't you? No, this thing already weighs 70 pounds. Like, can you? So, you know.
Last what you guys did, we were fucking joking. Don't forget your mic, buddy.
Oh, man. Yeah, I love
Well,
those
to
shows.
be fair, I kind of take on all that stuff just because I'm so like, well, it's not going to be done how I want. So I'll just do everything.
That's me. I can relate. I'm not like, yeah, because sometimes you just can't get like the response that you want. It's like, okay, I want you to bring up all these cables, and then the one cable you need isn't there. It's like, fuck.
That's why when I do a live show, I could be on and off the stage in 5 minutes, and I have replacements for every cable I use. And I even have my own 100-foot fucking XLR and everything, just in case the sound guys.
See, there's a good chunk of like when we play a gig, we bring a lot of gear. And there's a good chunk of that gear that we're not going to use. It's just in case. We've all played enough that it's like, well, this might fail. This might fail. I don't want that to be the end of our set.
Like I've been to shows where the sound guy has shitty ass chords. Like, I mean, cutting out while you're performing.
I've been that sound guy with shitty ass chords. It's not good. Like, people look at you like, what the fuck, bro? Like, get this shit together. It's like, hold on. I thought I had it together. It's just the system. There's too much power. Hold on. Let me fix. I got another one. Hold on. Give me a second. It's just like, that's the worst. I remember I was playing a show and I'm supposed to set up for everything. And I'm just like, okay, I brought unbalanced cables. Nope, you got to have balanced cables. Fuck, you didn't tell me that. So the whole shit, like the whole time I'm spending like 15, 20 minutes trying to get the right cables plugged in. And then like everybody's looking at me like we were supposed to start 10 minutes ago. It's like, okay,
yeah,
but
I can be on stage in 5 minutes and off in 2.
Yeah,
I have it all set up to where pedal boards go on, off to the side it goes. I can rip it down when I'm off stage.
nah.
I don't want to inconvenience
Yeah,
the people behind
that's,
me. I don't want the people in front of me to inconvenience me because that 5 extra minutes comes off the tail end of the show. You know what I mean? Like
I've always been get everything off that stage as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So that you can tear it down in the corner.
Like I could grab my pedal, put it on top of the rack, grab it,
Whole thing comes
guitar, 2 speakers, we're done off the stage.
Yeah. No,
all right.
I got
What does the drummer have left to get off?
That's usually
Yeah. The drummer has the most stuff to carry, especially with the live set.
I don't know. Ian had E drums.
Yeah.
They
fold.
Pick it up, carry it out.
We have Kale, so it's a whole thing.
Is that a cage or a rack?
He used to have a rack. He got rid of that because that was like technically it was kind of faster with the rack, but you would need 3 guys. All right, let's pick up and then get it on the stage, and then but it just took up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Even for a small kid.
Yeah.
We'll show you some videos after. There are some videos of Kale playing. He does some drum throughs, some live.
Yeah, he does a few.
Kale's a pretty beat. He's a beast. Like, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites to watch locally. The other one is Mike Kershaw out of Grimsby.
Oh yeah.
Because of mine.
I was just getting back into the swing of things where I was able to go and see some of these other fucking shows, and then life just said, "Nah, bro."
Oh, wait until Duskwalker plays. I'll drag you out to Duskwalker.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Electric Dead, Temple of Night. I can't wait to see if The Wake plays live. That would be an interesting thing to see live.
That would be awesome.
Eaten by Sharks, Darius Patrick, like he's a phenomenal guitar player. I remember when he was starting that band.
Yeah.
In 2012, I was talking to him.
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing them before they even had a singer.
Yeah, but I remember when it was just him with an idea.
Yeah.
That's when I was talking to him. It was in 2012. He was like the 3rd musician I ever met in Niagara Falls after moving here. He's like, I got this thing. I want to do like Theater of Pain or Dream Theater, and he's like, if it doesn't work, we'll do your shit. I'm like, no, you have a specific mindset. Stay with it. My shit ain't gonna satisfy you. And I'm glad he stuck with it because they have an amazing sound.
I just heard some of their new stuff they're working on. And
it's gonna be interesting.
sounds good. Sounds real good.
Who else is around here that's interesting to watch?
It's kind of outside of the genre of metal, but Road Waves.
Yep.
I've seen them play before. I've seen them play a couple of times. They're just phenomenal, bro.
Yeah.
When they first came out, where they are now.
Yeah.
When they first started, they were a little scratchy little rap.
Yeah.
Now they've grown into what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
Gravely James is like, once he starts stomping, boy, I'm telling you, you need to get out the way. He's gonna slap down a tune that's gonna make you.
I'm missing that whole.
Just make you move.
Have some fun.
Yeah. Even the outdoor. Give me some outdoor. Let me do something outdoors for fuck's sake.
They're looking to expand it to 50 people in bars.
Let me.
As soon as that happens, that's enough to throw a show.
Look, man,
well,
you see this backyard right here?
That's enough to throw a little show because you'll get your 15 people and.
So we've talked about, man, we just want to play this, and we've thrown around some ideas, but like I can't speak for the other guys, but for me to get what I want and what I need out of playing,
you need people in front of you.
To play to a sparse crowd and they have to stay seated at their table, like it just doesn't.
It doesn't fit.
I can't do it. Like I won't get what I need out of it. Even because you want to just go and play, but I know that I won't get what I need
You'll
out of
finish
it.
playing. That was a fun jam.
Yeah, like
that was good. Yes, John likes to bounce around on stage. In case you don't know.
Oh, so you're more of a taps.
So if you're sitting up near the front, you'll hear him stomp as loud
as your warehouse.
You hear that?
Poof! Oh yeah. He stomps. And he's
not supposed to hear it.
Oh yeah. No, I like to feel it. Like I like to feel
how it gets out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
John likes to bounce around. It's fun to watch.
All right.
And then you got not in the inside.
Yeah. Just fucking laying it down.
That's great. Wait till you see them live.
I'm waiting, bro. I've been waiting a year and I've been waiting a year for 2 weeks to flatten the curve, bro.
Watch. Sam gets right into his character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who, the sword fighter?
Yes.
That guy, like, there's like 3 people. Like for 3 weeks, they were telling me, "Oh, all these guys are bigger than you." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I'm looking at it. Well, the first 2 guys, I'm like basically looking right in their face. I'm just like, nah. Sam walks in. I look. I turn. Like I'm coming out the bathroom, so I turn and my head goes up. I'm like, "Oh." First words I said to him, this guy is actually bigger than me. And he sits up all proper and shit. Like you could see
he's a big, he's a nice guy.
He is quite the specimen of a human being.
Exactly.
He really is.
We did a birthday show for him and he got nothing but unicorns and big stuff.
Yeah.
A plastic archery set.
Yeah. For LG didn't really get no presents for his birthday episode. We kind of failed on that a little bit.
No, I'll make it up.
But we did cater to him. You know what I mean? We catered to him and he got some. Huh?
I wasn't here for the later show.
Oh, yeah. No, you weren't. Were you?
No, on Monday. You guys did a Monday show for him. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made it out.
We did. So.
Sam, yeah, he's a big dude.
Big, like 6'6", 6'7". Like
he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Like I feel sorry for him though. He probably gets a lot of attention.
Literally, before we went online, all we were talking about was, dude,
yeah.
Awesome. He sent us a pre-mixed version, so it wasn't even mixed. And I'm like, dude, I've been listening to this like constantly. Like, really? Yeah, I like Delta Blues. Like, I like this shit. This is the stuff I listen to. It's like, really? We didn't know if there was going to be any kind of crowd for it.
Oh yeah.
This is good music. Is good music, no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see that it's out because, like I said, yeah, Maddie had mentioned it to me like
Maddie's
so long ago now. Like, me and Sam have been talking about this, and
Maddie's such a singer.
He really is.
It's amazing what comes out of that little body. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Maddie, you're like, it's gonna growl, and all of a sudden this beautiful, clean voice comes out, and you're like,
well, that's the thing. So, yeah, he's singing that Duskwalker stuff, and that's super intense. And then we'll go play the following week and he's singing Journey, like he's singing Pat Benatar, like
and like pretty much pitch perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I am not even. I don't sing. Like,
same.
I
OD. That was no good.
no, there's one song on the album I released last year that I sang on Cheshire Black, and it was called Blackout, and it wasn't even like a singing, it was more like a rapping soft and trying to be melodic. it was interesting because it's a very descriptive song, but at the same time it's just like I gotta have one, so because I was going for something of every feeling kind of thing, you know what I mean? I got the empowering one, I got the soft one, I got the dance one, you know what I mean? So just like, okay, let me make something for my lady, because I don't really think I've made something for her specifically. And then when it was done, it's just like, holy shit, did I really write all of that? She blushed.
Dude, I can't stop writing.
Man.
Well, we're usually like already before we finish an album, we're already like several ideas
On
and
the next
riffs
one because some
into
came
the
in,
next.
yeah.
So
Yep.
before we recorded the first album, there was riffs like The Crawling Tongue. That was started before we even started recording the first album.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, this isn't fitting what we're doing, but we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've
it's
said it
like,
before, I have almost 90 ongoing songs.
yeah,
on
like
my
we're
drive.
recording the cover thing right now. We're halfway into writing the next album.
No,
I already have the ideas for
the following.
album number 4.
Okay, so when you say writing, you mean like structuring the chord progression with the instrument, or do you mean like writing the words for the song,
So
or both?
we have kind of various phases of the songs.
Okay.
Some of them are basically done, just need lyrics.
Okay.
Some of them had lyrical ideas sitting there waiting, and then when the riff or the song idea comes up, it's like, that's where that lyric
Okay.
is going. That's
They
for
have
that
ideas
song.
put aside
So
here and there.
what-
So we had like a lyric idea, the song title and the idea for the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then once it was like Joey brought in a riff. It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Everyone forgets
that-
Joey is also a guitar player.
yeah. It was like, oh, those lyrics that we've been sitting on, that
Yeah.
And Joey's like
that's for that song. That's where that's gonna fit.
And Joey's a doom sludge metal guitarist. Like he plays a little when he plays
That so that what he brought in, that is exactly what that is.
So
because
that
is-
his other band is like a doom band, right? Like a
Yeah,
sludge-
yeah.
There's definite similarities then. I'm just thinking about my process because I like to find common ground. You know what I mean? I think that's a better way to kind of further develop. And it's just like I'm looking at what you do and what I do and where the similarities are, what the differences are, because there's a lot of media related dissonance between our genres of music. It's like, you know what I mean? Except for the handful of people that they want to be seen. Everybody else is just, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's not, they don't get the same pull. So it's like, I'm trying to bridge the gap and figure out the similarities where they are. And it's like, there's a lot, like when I'm making a beat, for example, if I have a specific song in mind, but I find another sample that doesn't fit the beat, I might structure a little something and then put that on the side and then come back to it later and then go back to the other beat. So it's like, that's why I was trying to figure out what you meant by writing, because, well, you just answered my question in a double way, because it could be writing the song first and then getting the lyrics to it, or it could be writing the lyrics first and then getting a song to it. So
Yeah, typically for us, we're not like writing lyrics and then it becomes a song. If we have lyric ideas, it's just like, okay, that's there.
Yeah.
Once the song comes up that fits that lyrical idea,
Mhm.
all right, that's where that's going.
Okay.
I think they have a bunch of lyrics that are just written down and completed. Like, okay, here's the verse, here's the chorus, and then it sits for 10 years. And then I'll have a piece of music and I'll be like, hold on, I remember. Wait, that fits. Okay, that goes with that now. Type of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like 90% of our writing style for Duskwalker is me and Kale in a room,
Mhm.
and
Bring everybody else.
then it happens. Hey guys, we have a half a song here.
Kind
Or-
of Italianized.
Okay.
yeah, kind of.
It's
Yeah.
that feeling where
It's very
going
much
through
that.
some
Yeah.
riffs. Oh, I like that riff. How about we do this? Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
How about this? Okay, now let's bring bring the bass player in so we can see what he can add.
All right, here's how it goes. Do something cool.
And then they'd be like, well, how about change this? Hey, we never thought of that. Let's try it.
Yes,
Like,
that's
you know what I mean? Like, you get the core idea, and then it's like, okay, let's see how anyone else can expand it for us.
that. Man, when Maddie was still in the band, that was like his brilliance. Like, because it was still the same writing thing. It was mostly me and Kale, and then Maddie would be like, "Why don't you move that here, or try this, or maybe do this a little different,
The
or
outside of the
add a
box.
little thing in there."
Bring that little bit of freshness back in, so it's not so just two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great when that happens. Like when you write something, you're like, this is great, and somebody comes in, why don't you try this? Never thought of it.
Yeah.
Let's try that. It's always nice to have an outside ear.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What are you doing over there?
I am responding to different individuals who have garnered my attention while I'm on this live. It surprises me really how few people talk to me when I actually have the availability. I mean, since we got on the live, I've had a commentator for Crossfire Wrestling contact me. I'm talking to a bassist now. I'm in a group with Road Waves. And then I am trying
And then we
to.
have Charlotte that likes to watch us.
Yes, you know what I mean. I spoke to her a bit. She was humbled by the shout out. She didn't expect that.
They're a great group. I'm going to shout out any musician or band I like. You know, let them be friends, not friends, acquaintances, or just music I admire. Because that's what makes me who I am in my writing style, my everything. I can relate to bands or members of a band. I may not like a band, but I'll like a member of a band. You know, like I'm not a Motley Crue fan, but I can appreciate Nikki Sixx.
The way it is for
just
me,
the way he writes in that, it's phenomenal. He writes 90% of that music.
The way it is
There,
for me,
there may
like,
or may not be a Motley Crue song in this
Oh.
Duskwalker.
he's striking the chords now. It's like I'll say it how it is for me and how it is for the real perspective, how the real perspective should be as an artist. I'm not going to get anywhere without you. The three of you right now are going to be able to put me into a different position that I wouldn't be able to be in if it wasn't for the three of you. And when it's 330, 300, 3,000, it's still, you know, each individual effort that's put forth to get me to where I'm trying to be. You know what I mean? I'm going to put forth to get someone else to where they want to go. And when we garner that perspective, it's a lot easier. Yeah, there's some stakes in the grass. There's some ass hats. There's some douche wags. There's some twat waffles. But
did you get them all?
no, there's the clod hoppers, the numbskulls, the twits, the ninnies, ass hats. Did I say that already?
My
There's
personal favorite.
meat curtains. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I called one person a cockscab one time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's me and my boy in high school, we used to go back and forth dissing each other, and we'd try to come up with the most biologically obscure things ever. Like, I called him a pus-filled cyst on the ass hair or the ass end of a rhino or some shit like that, and he called me some. I can't even remember. I put it out of my mind. It was so terrible. So, you know what I mean? But that's just, there's certain lines that you got to draw, and certain situations that's just like, oh, whatever. So I don't know, man. It's
I just always bring up musicians that I like.
those. That's a great way to go.
Your guys' music hits accordingly. I enjoy it. And it's, you know, the evolution's been great to watch from Maddie and Derek to what it is now, because that's how I found you guys.
Yeah.
Derek. And then watching little shows in that, like the Detour show where we had to drag a guy off of Derek's leg and we're rolling on the fucking railing.
Well, this guy puts shows together. It's for Feet Gurgis from Livestock Niagara. So you might want to look him up.
No, it's.
I think we're a bit much for livestock. I think.
Yeah. Really.
I don't know. He's looking to expand.
Yeah,
No,
he
we're a
is.
bit much for most people. So.
Exactly. That's why we need this to happen, kind of thing.
The metal scene in Niagara is not dead, but it's not doesn't have a strong pulse.
Well, you know
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, does that make any sense? I keep hearing people talk about the old vintage. That was the metal scene back in the day and whatnot. And then when the geekery was briefly alive, there was a pretty good scene there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I feel like I'm pretty lucky being in Duskwalker, where, you know, if we play, it's gonna be a good time. People are gonna show up. But yeah, outside of that, if I do go to a show
It's
that's
staying
not
with
Duskwalker,
or the
it's
bed.
rough, man.
Or the electric bed. Hey,
Yeah.
pack a house or
Yes.
crotch.
Yeah.
Crotch can pack a house.
I'm sorry, you said crotch can pack a house.
But I went and saw Gypsy Chief Goliath came and played down here. I was pumped. There was nobody there. I'm like, they're
Like Slumlords,
ridiculously good.
Called Slumlord. They're from New York. They came up to play. And Jillian brought them up. There was maybe 20. And I'm like, damn, these guys are great. Like they were awesome. Or when she brought up Native Howl, came through Nag again. It's like, what people?
Yeah, it's
What
tough.
else
Like
music?
I
Like,
do
look at
feel
that.
lucky that when I play here, anyways, it's good for us. But it is
Hard.
it's hard going to shows and there's nobody there.
Mhm.
It's tough, especially when it's bands that come here from out of town. It's like they're never gonna come back, man.
No.
And no matter how well they get treated.
And like, we can't host every band that we want to come to the falls. Yeah, like
And I wish these people would actually go out and visit the other shows. Like, what do we need to do? Some cross genres?
Cross-genre
Hip-hop
promotion.
and do it?
Variety shows honestly, the most success I've seen is a variety show function where, you know what, you could have 5-6 metal bands plan to play, but tell them it's a variety show.
Mini band tour.
Have a couple people come on, play some soft shit. Have a couple people come on, do a little bit of hip hop or something like that, some R&B, you know, some adult contemporary, and then just slam them with the metal. Blah.
Hey, we played with the CAC on the same bill.
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Like,
I find that kind of stuff to be more like most of the shows that I performed in the year and a half prior to the shutdown was variety shows, except for the handful of hip hop shows that I organized. And even then, I organized shows where I had someone like Chronic Spirit. He's a he's a very good guitar player. He can play electric, acoustic. He can play bass. He can play so many different things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you're my remember what they used to have in the old days, like Robin Hood days, the guy would walk around and play the
like a lute. Or
yeah.
something?
I'm like, you're my lute player. You're gonna listen, man. Bring your guitar, and whenever it starts
He's
to
gonna be
get
the fucking
tense and shit,
minstrel.
We had a show like that at the Geekery.
yes, you're gonna play your guitar. You're gonna go on stage and whatever. You're gonna play the guitar. You're gonna keep people interested while we get the stage set up. When the stage is set up, you go to the side. We're gonna go. You know what I mean? Have everything come on. But he played different genres of music. So
I'd be up for some crossover stuff.
yeah,
We played a show with the Electric Dead in between bands.
It was the Halloween show. It was
And they had that girl doing the.
All the performers in that. That was a sold out show.
Yeah,
That was a good show.
that was a great show.
And then that was right after was your CD release.
Yeah,
Which was another great show.
yeah.
There was some King Diamond in that one.
I cannot. Man, our album release show, I still can't believe the turnout
It was
for that
awesome.
show. Like, it
That's
was.
the show I almost made you late for.
Yeah, like that. Like we sold that out, and man, did we sell a lot of merch, and like every band was killer. Whew, it was a great night.
I have an idea for you, but I don't want to talk about it on camera.
All right, we'll
We
save
can
that
kill
then.
this anytime, like, we
Yeah,
can
man,
buy
we've been
some
here.
time,
LG's taking a rest because we got to get ready for that show. So you know what? Y'all got the Terrell Effect crossover. This is episode 225, ladies and gentlemen. 225 episodes. We've been here doing this thing. And that's the ones I've been counting. So for John from Duskwalker, is anyone you want to say anything to?
No, I'm just
Yeah,
having a blast today. It's great.
Geek out earlier.
Yeah,
All right,
that's great.
That's awesome.
I got
It's
to
nice.
talk a bit with like a fucking super cool dude, and then talk about myself. So that not much more I could ask for.
All right.
There's a lot of metal to talk about.
Yeah, we did. I mean, like, I realized I don't know as much as I thought I knew about metal. And, like, with what he's taught me in this conversation and what I've learned from you, it's like I can expand more on what I do know just from these interactions.
Ice-T just won a Grammy for the best
Best
metal album.
performance.
Wow.
Well, he gave up rap.
Yeah.
It's all about body count, and I'm kind of happy.
Well,
Yeah.
I heard him say back in the day, you know, the metal bands had the mosh pits and stuff. He's like, they went over, I think he said he was on a tour with Public Enemy. And over there, he's like, in Europe, rap shows were like, it was like metal. Like, he's like, what? And once you see a mosh pit at your show, you never not want to play in front of a mosh pit.
Yeah.
And he was actually overwhelmed at how welcome he was into the metal community worldwide.
Well, I mean, it helps when the first album you put out as a metal album is fucking awesome.
Yeah, really.
The album is
really
great.
It's really funny because I never heard about them until I was in a metal band. I was compared to them. I don't know how.
I know
how.
There's literally one reason why.
Hey, I didn't want to be the one to stay. So, but then I heard them was just like, damn, okay, I can see where we're going
I
with
think
this.
he's a better metal singer
Oh,
than
he's
he
fucking
was
great.
as a rapper.
He's great.
All
Like,
right.
yeah.
All
Their
right.
Slayer cover was pretty good.
Yeah.
We got more to talk about. And it's gonna be coming to you in the next like hour or two because we gotta push off LG's cooking until it's sooner to the Savage Circle, which won't start till around 7. So yeah, y'all stay tuned.
We could start at 6 and then Zach can come in at 7 for the last bit.
Or we can do that at 6:30. We'll see, because I'm not exactly sure what time Zach's.
I may go have a nap.
Like I said, it pulls out. So yeah, we gotta get some rest in between, decompress, you know what I mean? And thank you for the time and seeing our scene. Check out sharetheshock.ca /issue-6. And feel free to, what did I say? Donations are accepted, but not expected. They can be sent to sharetheshock@gmail.com. We've had John from Duskwalker, we've had DUI, we had DemonStealer, and
DemonStealer.
DemonStealer. Sorry, Demon Slayer is someone else. Yeah, y'all just like, I feel like I got part of my soul stealing from saying that the wrong way. Either way, we're gonna sign off until the next one. Take it easy.